As famed dungeon master Shaka Khan once said, when DMing exclusively for men playing male characters, I'm every woman, all NPCs. Hey, welcome to Avoid.
I can't tell if I'm slowly coming around to that bit or they are getting better. That was really good.
The last two have been pretty good.
Yeah, they've been good.
I found my rhythm only 49 episodes in. We're nothing if not perfectionists here. I actually, in my own head, before I introduce the show, we're not live, Paul, right? The audience won't see me behind the curtain. I was thinking, if I was really good at impressions, I could do like as famed Dungeon Master Tim Curry, and then just like pull out like a Christopher Walken, or whatever. The only impression I can do is like Watto from Star Wars, and I think it's problematic. Anyway, hey, welcome to Home, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. I am a Dungeon Master, Ben Clifford, and speaking of alcohol, punks, what are we drinking tonight? I can kick you off. I started with something from Wicklow Brewery called Ginger Nut. I sort of joined your ginger beer train, but unlike the filthy soup takers you guys are, I went for an Irish ginger nut.
Oh.
Wait, is Halls and Fentiment not Irish?
Halls and Fentiment is not Irish, no. It is still probably the best ginger beer on the market. So.
Yeah, that's a shame. I thought I was representing. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, you are? You're
just someone else.
Yeah, you're representing Halls and Fentiment.
Yeah, that's true.
Wes, what are you drinking today?
I am dipping into the into Keelan territory. I'm drinking predominantly sours this evening. I am drinking Lucky Jack Grapefruit Edition, which I'm very excited to try out. And I also have, I don't think there's an actual label on it, Goosebumps, which has, it's a dry hopped Weiss beer with gooseberries, which we'll see how that goes.
I need to ask, is there anywhere on the can where it says drinkers beware, you're in for a skate?
It does not, but it's brewed by R.L. Stein though, so you're pretty right. And we also have Steady on the Japes, which is apparently a collaboration between two breweries. I'm not sure who, but it's got like grapefruit and weird shit in it. And yeah. And I got some California IPAs for backup in case I decide to be a complete wimp and want something plain and boring.
I love how it's like plain and boring is still crafty. It's like, not a macro obviously, but plain and boring. Randir/Paul, you are next in the old overview. What are you drinking?
So I have returned to my lair back home. So I have the return of the potions, and also there's also a bunch more coming because I found a bunch more, not of these kind of containers.
Containers, yeah.
Potion bottles. I found a couple more, so I'm gonna start making up a couple more new cocktails with different colors and stuff. But I just got my second vaccine, so sadly I am on the water, but the flavored water of lemon and lime. Ooh. And also I'll probably do some shots from the potion bottle.
So you're on the sours as well. The water sours.
Yes. So.
Nice. It's probably the only country in the world where we get a second like life-saving vaccine and we go, can you drink on this? It's all right to drink on this. But fair, hydrate. If you've gotten,
and it's up there with antibiotics where it's like one of those few excuses like, you're not drinking. Did you get the second jab? Is that the only reason why? You couldn't just not want to drink, no?
Wait, I mean, you can't drink on the second jab, guys.
Yeah. I was going to say,
we are.
A huge mistake.
You can, it's just you're supposed to drink shitloads of water anyway, so it's like, you might feel a bit shit, but it's not going to undo it.
It's not made of solid, Wes. What do you think it's made of?
I'm going to be back in a second.
Know. Hops?
The hangover the next day feels terrible because you don't know if you're dying from side effects of 5G or it's just your filthy hangover because you have poor impulse control. So.
It's true.
Speaking of poor impulse control, Lucy, what are you drinking tonight?
I missed the last 2 sessions, so I've had loads of time to prepare and get a cool, crafty brew for you all. But I'm actually coming to you from a blurry hotel room, a very cheap hotel near to where I have work tomorrow. And this pub has nothing in it It just had a Guinness tap and a Heineken tap, but I did get some Orchard Thieves little bottles. So not little bottles, regular size. But so I'm on the Orchard Thieves. But once again, I have an excuse. I'm nothing if not constantly giving you excuses for my terrible taste in beer. Yay!
Well, welcome back.
It's pretty nice.
We are absolutely thrilled to have you back at the table. It's been between you and me, the more sensitive people on the show. It's been a bit of a testosterone fest, and I wasn't liking the vibe. But don't tell the other guys, okay?
I mean, it's just that me and Keelan are just so manly and super tough.
They're too manly for me. Lucy. Like they're always bench pressing me. It's not fair.
Bros. There was such a sense of yeah.
I feel like
Lads.
I feel like there's a joke in there that I wasn't included in what Wes said. So.
It's literally because I don't have your camera up because you're producing. So I just looked at the screen and thought other guy. I didn't like, and of course Paul represented the ladies that week.
He's on order. You know?
Just
what are you
keeping
drinking?
it, Paul. That's the masculine role.
I have a whole rake of exciting things actually, because I was given some sours for a birthday present. It was my birthday last week, so I have this, which looks to be very useful. It's called High Noon. You know, if I want to challenge someone late into this battle to a one-on-one duel later on, then that's a prickly pear and blood orange sour. You know, cactus fruit.
The blue special.
It has cactus fruit. So that's a whole new flavor I've only ever tried through beer. I've never had a normal cactus fruit, so we'll see. I have a Yeti confetti, which is really colorful and fun.
Oh, that's a cool can.
Yeah. And I have a hippogriff. That's what it's called.
Ooh.
It's a beautiful.
That's so useful.
Oh my god.
I know,
It's a
yeah.
little bit
Gandalf the fuck out of here.
It's not only
That
it's
looks
a
like
hippogriff.
werewolves.
I don't know if you can really see. It says hurricane there as well. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if it's just
Wait,
called.
can we use the small print to affect the world? Because that would be very useful.
Any print, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I could try to get a Yeti, a hippogriff, and you know, get just some of them straight off, and let's see what happens. You know.
Yeah.
You
I'm
knew
just
that you were
thinking-
going into battle.
Yeah, you got a mount. Get a mount for this battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would recommend any podcast listeners like look up the names of these beers on Google because some of those cans look really fucking cool.
Yeah. The Yeti confetti is from New York, I think.
That's my favorite one. That's with the toothy face. Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, that is a cool
ACDC. It's a New York brewery. I've never had it before. Brooklyn. That could be good. I'm sure Brooklyn, you know, have nice beers. The hippogriff is from, I have no idea, Livingston, I think is what they say. They spend so much
they're mythical. They don't actually exist. They're not from any. They're like
yeah,
they're from
like
books.
Livingston.
For books.
Yeah, and I mean, no idea. They spent so much of their time, Mortalis Brewing, that's the name of it. So much of their time making a giant hippogriff in gold on the can that they didn't bother having a name.
You're telling me as the DM, you've got Mortalis, Hurricane, and Hippogriff on the one can. So I guess should I just fuck my notes out the window? Is that?
I hadn't even thought about Mortalis. That's just gonna kill everyone, right?
I feel like is the rule is that if you use a can and there's several words on it, that all of those things activate at the same time.
It's a loosey goosey. You can kind of use whatever word you want, but I'm only glad none of your clerics.
You know as well as I
because
do.
Divine
Ben likes
intervention
having
and
fun
using
more
like
than he likes reading
3.0%.
rules.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just saying that I'm glad none of your clerics, because divine intervention and trying to get a low percentage, you could just be like, I'll just use 3.4 in this can.
Yeah.
I'll just get this wrong. But
I'll remember that when Arlington inevitably dies.
if you're in the sidebar, let us know what you're drinking. If you're drinking along, if you're below the table, if you're watching after the fact, comment. Let us know what you're drinking. While you're below the table and in the sidebar, Wes, I was going to hand over to you for this, but I'm talking at the moment, so I figured I'll say it. Just like stuff and subscribe to things and follow us on the. It made no sense. I was literally talking about the YouTube platform. So, yeah, hit that like button. Follow us if you don't already follow us, and subscribe. Thank you so much if you already do as well. By the way, that's unbelievably sound, and we appreciate every bit of interaction we get online. We are at Home Request across all social channels. You'll see it in the overlay. You'll also see other stuff in the overlay that's pretty important, like our 10% off code with DakotaIrish.com. Just use Huck's Punks at checkout on your first order. And they've got some really cool new stuff in the shop, but I'll save some more on that for later in the show. Well, anyone else have any news? Should we play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons.
I got folding down like apple cider, and also Force of the Fianna, just to add more chaos to everything.
Oh no! Did we peer pressure you into drinking?
No, I'm gonna open the apple one because I've had it for about a while, so I really want to try it. So even if I don't drink too much, I'm still going. Oh my god! This is a huge mistake.
Paul has all our technical equipment, so it's fine if his beer.
We need to have that graphic of like a goblin holding an unplugged cable. Like, we'll be right back. He's like, "Oops."
We need it more and more recently. It's because we're having too much fun. Should we? Anyone else?
Let's start rolling dice and stuff.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks away from the 50th episode of the show. Not actually the 50th stream. We've done like one shots and specials and stuff, but like of this campaign.
Wow.
Whew, and where have we got to? Huh? The things you think of.
Actually, that's something I realized we should probably call out. If you're listening to this on the podcast, we only ever post like canonical episodes of the main campaign. We have all kinds of like one shots and side episodes and things that aren't even D&D on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see more content that isn't necessarily exactly this, go check that out. It's fun. It's fun.
Does that mean the podcast listeners haven't heard any of our like St. Patrick's Day specials or anything?
They have not.
Wow, that's us at our best and worst.
They haven't lived.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah.
Right, let's dive straight in. Now, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. And if you as a player are thinking, is it my recap? Don't worry, didn't ask anyone this time. So you're like, shit. So welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. And imagine, if you will, I think, Lucy, just before we go any further, I think when you switched your character sheet on your phone, we see it on the screen.
No, you didn't.
No,
that was mine.
I was literally DMing Paul, being like, I don't know if you spotted that, but you put a character sheet across Lucy.
Nope, that was mine.
Paul still jumped over there, Lucy.
I just plugged my phone in, so I felt like that.
It's so bad that I genuinely thought you'd done it, and I'm like, in hindsight, how could you? I don't see how you could have done it. It wouldn't make sense.
I like that you thought that like it was quite capable.
Well, it was the motion.
Very unlucky with this stuff.
For podcast listeners, it was the way it kind of came on the screen. It looked like it swiped on, and I was like, "That's kind of cool, weird, but fine."
Like, what am I doing? Just swiping? Yeah, the listeners should know. Like 2 minutes before we came on, I realized I was running out of battery. Had to swap to a phone. Paul had to sort all of my stream out in the last second. So, yeah, it's great.
Nodding my head.
Great. All right, yeah. Everyone, take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you want. I'm easy. And imagine, if you will, the galloping hoofbeats along broken cobblestone road. And you see this road is overgrown with wildlife and tangled brambles. There's a low fog that hangs in the air. There's a smell of wet sod, and we hear a howl in the distance. Oh! It's not raining, but there is that wet that hangs in the air that your clothes just sort of get soaked and seep through to your very bones. And we see glimpses of green fabric pass by. We see glints of steel swords. Bing, bing. And leading the charge, our valiant hero, Pozzo. Atop a craggy hill, we see the stone fortification surrounded by farmlands and a ringed wooden fence. It is the terrifying and horrible Kingdom of Ossory, a sight that would strike fear in the heart of any man. But Pozzo and his band of heroes aren't just any men. They're warriors, the legendary Fianna warriors of Hibernia, and they're here to save the day. There's a look of fierce determination in Pozzo's eyes. And for today, the terror of the Inish Bay Butcher, the draped arsonist, the sleeve gem derailer, the grisly terror that lives within the Kingdom of Ossory will meet their end. The army burst through the door. Peace was never an option, especially thanks to these 3 sexy villains who seem to stand in Pozzo's way. If you would, to catch both Lucy up, I know Lucy, you've been watching, but for kayfabe reasons, pretend you weren't. Catch Lucy up and the audience and everyone. I'd like to do like a little tableau of the scene. Battle has erupted between the Kingdom of Ossory, who have all transformed into werewolves, Huck's punks, who are caught in the middle, and Fianna warriors, 18 strong, who burst through the door. And one by one will go around, those of you who are in the middle of this battle. And if you could just describe, you got full creative license, like, do whatever you want, like, break the game, I don't care. And I'll let you know that I'm going to give DM inspiration to the best one. So, pressure's on. Starting in order of overlay, Arlington. What's Arlington up to?
So Arlington was sort of directly in the middle of this pre-chaos. So Randy at the start had gone for the Fianna guys, and Huck was trying to counterspell him at every corner, and Arlington was very much trying to like keep the peace, and he sort of resigned himself to getting involved with the fight. So he's sort of I suppose he's kind of slumped his shoulders and gotten a bit more slack-jawed, and he's sort of drooling a little bit as rage is overcoming him, and he's sort of running, I guess, kind of Naruto style with like loose arms behind him, running after Randir, and he's like not a leader. He's following. He's just kind of like backing up his new buddy. So he's sprinting literally headfirst into the band of heroic Fianna warriors that are armed to the teeth, with apparently a rippling carpet rolling behind him, which I guess we'll get to on one of the lads describing their turns.
Rander, you hear the kind of ching, 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 as sparks fly and Arlington's long-limbed arms drag along the ground, and his steel axe strikes against cold stone, sparking up in a way that kind of makes no sense, but the effects guys said it would look cool, so we're leaving it in. What do we see for Randir?
Oh, so, Lucy and ladies and gentlemen, Randir has had friends in this place for ages. He's really loved these doggo friends. And then these bad... I'm not allowed to swear.
You can swear.
Oh, okay. This is 18s. But you get these fucking bad people came
your stuff just dropped there.
killed my friends. And they attacked my friends, and I wasn't having any of it. And my new friends tried to stop me, but I wasn't having that either. No one gets in the way of vengeance when Randir is involved, except for Kegu, making beer and possibly selling it. So I went straight for Pozzo, the leader of the Fianna, and I decided to hit him as hard as I could with my enchanted warhammer.
Nice. And with that wallop straight into the gut, Pozzo is winded and crumples over against your blow. Huck, two of your party have, with like literally your name on their cloaks. Like if anyone's going to take the blame for this, it goes straight to the top. Like these are your subordinates, obviously. Actually, I don't know, Frander, if you have a Huck's Punks bedazzled cloak yet. But maybe one day. Nice. He's a free agent. He's a rank. He doesn't play by the book.
I've got the initiative one, biker gangs have, I'm a pledge.
Yeah, it just says
got a high-vis vest.
He's not actually a punk yet. He's just mine.
He's just got a leather jacket, and then we've gotten a Tipex that it says pre-punk on the back.
Huck, what are you up to?
Okay, well, I was trying really, really hard to, keep everything calm and chill because, I have a relationship with the Fianna and I love these lads of the, it'd be nice if everyone, for once, could just all be friends. I mean, I know I've been harping on about it, but it would really have been great. I tried to stop Randir at virtually every turn, which I think is the first time I've knowingly attacked and or used magic on anyone in my party to any effect whatsoever.
None of us knew you could counterspell.
Yeah, I literally never bothered. More fun to explode. That didn't work. So I'm resigned now to just closing off the fight as quickly as possible. I'm also a little miffed at my new friend Randir, so I hadn't. I might not be concerned with the area of effect spell that may soon be cast. But also, while he's doing that, I do notice him running ahead. He doesn't have Huck's Punks, which does strike me as odd. So I use a prestidigitate to make him look like he has Huck's Punks on the back. Just as a free action.
Nice. Yeah. Rander, as you run forward, Huck's Punks, from a certain angle, looks great. Like those little dragon folded pieces of paper. But as you run past it, because it's prestidigitation, it stays and you leave it behind. Growing big on your back. They were all great. Give yourselves all a DM inspiration. They were wonderful.
We should also point, actually, just to help set the scene for Lucy, there is a dead werewolf in the middle of the room as well that the Fianna killed already.
Yeah.
So just his head.
That was Fox.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just his head. And it was Fox's brother. We don't know yet.
No one's asked.
It was Fox. Fredo Fox died. It was Voodoo's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It was Fredo Fox. Yeah.
I can't reach it, but I have another Fredo Fox. I can show you the can later on.
That will be important. Yes.
Yeah, Ben couldn't part with his NPC that he built 5 seconds called Voodoo, but he could part with the other NPC called Fredo the Fox.
Completely get
way
it.
better.
Who was really lovely. He's a lovely little dude on his can, you know?
Yeah, he was actually.
Yeah.
Definitely get that after the break if we can. I want to look at that can again. He was a kid.
I got a new one.
Sounds like you guys had so much fun. You bonded with your animals. Nice.
Yeah.
And then murdered
Iggy,
them. Okay.
everything that's just been described, you run in on. You, about 20 seconds ago, in a cold sweat, bolted awake from your coma. There was no one in the room nearby, and immediately heard the clash and crash of glass in the main hallway. You rush in, and you see at the door, these 18 Fianna begin to fan out, and against them, about 12, if I remember correctly, werewolves kind of circle around. Huck's Punks right in the middle, and it looks like they're attacking the Fianna. I want you to roll initiative, just so we know, roughly speaking. Well, not even roughly, exactly speaking, where you are in the order.
Yeah, and I love it. It's pure sitcom timing. Like, I woke up from the coma, and then the fight happened. It's perfect. I have a 10. Probably plus.
Well, you are, but what did you get in initiative?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm 14, actually. I forgot to add something.
That was
I'm a
nice. I think
14
Lucy's gotten a lot of abuse. It's nice to give her a compliment.
Yeah, that
but
really sounded like
out
an
of
insult,
what?
but I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
We're gonna go top of the round, I think. That's the best way to jump straight into this. Huck, you were top of the round. You got a 19. I'm going to keep the same initiatives because we're in the same battle. It is your move. You know this, but to remind the audience, Huck also has control over a long carpet that runs the length of the hallway and 2 candles.
Yes. Which is taking up all my concentration, which is a real fun aspect.
Welcome to fatherhood.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Paul Randier was definitely close. Arlington's now had a bit of a free dash. The last time I made my plans for the top of
First
the
of all, Arlington's the fastest man alive. He can catch up, no problem.
Okay. Well, it's up to you whether or not you want to be there because I made the plans a lot.
I don't. I've realized as soon as I said it, you're probably blowing him up, aren't you?
No, Arlington is the fastest man alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
with the strongest fear of fire.
Luckily, it's not fire. I have stronger spells than fire now.
Yeah.
I was preparing it last time as well. Because he's a little pissed off. Synaptic static is what I'm going for.
Ooh, cool. What is that?
Now, what that does is a huge psychic blast of energy, kind of stupefying people. It's a 20-foot radius. So,
I think I'm definitely within range of that. I think I would have run in as soon as Randir went, and I hate psychic damage, but this is going to be quite funny.
yeah. This is an insane amount of damage, and definitely a bad plan. But I could stupefy everyone. Perhaps we can calmly relax. I'm going to cast that with the caveat that I'm also using my newest sorcerer skill, which is heightened spell. I think it's called. There you go. Let me find it. Heightened spell. Yeah, my newest meta magic, which means that I can pick one person for 3 sorcery points who has disadvantage if my spell causes a check. So, of all of the people within the 20 foot, I can make sure one of them has a disadvantage on a save for the first time.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm hoping it's not me.
You know it's definitely going to be you. It's 100% going to be you.
No, it's Pazzo, who I think is pretty much more or less at the center. So, I want to hit all of them. I'm not...
Pretty much.
I don't want to hit. I'd rather not hit Randir, and I'd rather not hit Arlington if I can push it further to the back.
Well, you can. Yeah. You could keep them out of it. Like if we take that a figures piece, we do Theater of the Mind of the show. But if we were using minis, they would each have their own 5-foot square, and you could kind of place your 20-foot radius like out the door, and only kind of getting them in that sort of circle there. I would say you might miss one of. It's hard to say from your angle. You might miss one of the archers if you do that. You'll definitely get that archer if you include your party, but one of the archers might not be in that curve of that circle.
I'll try. I'll try push it back as best I can anyway.
That's funny. I like both minis and Theater of the Mind kind of equally. I've never done Theater of the Mind with minis in my head. This is a new one, but now that's fully what I'm picturing.
You guys don't picture little mini maps?
I didn't, and now that's all I'm going to picture.
Yeah, I have line of sight.
4 miniature figurines bouncing across the terrain,
and a little mini Ben hiding behind a couch, just like watching the whole thing.
Aww.
Ben playing with his toys at home.
He's got little action figures under the couch. He's like,
they need to make a save, I presume, because that heightened spell required a save of some sort.
Yeah, so it's a save. It says on the spell an intelligence save of DC 17 intelligence. So
17 intelligence.
A nice intelligence save.
Yeah.
And who is rolling with disadvantage?
Pazzo specifically. Yeah.
Right.
There's not enough int saves going around. People are stupid.
If any of the werewolves, or perhaps if Randir has an intelligence score of less than 2, he wouldn't be affected. I could have chosen to put him inside.
Oh, I do know this one. This is good shit. Yeah. You're too stupid for my very powerful spell to work on you.
Yeah. So it'll be 8d6 damage. If they succeed their check, it'll be half of that. If they fail the check, they'll be muddled for a minute, and they'll roll a d6 and subtract that number from all their attack rolls for the next minute.
Is muddled a state?
Apparently.
Ring a bell.
It's also a step in many good cocktails.
That's very true.
That's very good.
So, I'm muddling them with a giant muddler.
Oh, I think it's unique to that spell. It's not like a D&D state.
Okay.
No, it's descriptive text.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that there's much in casting it. I know there's a save. I'm happy to roll.
No, I've rolled for them. If it's a save, I roll on my side.
Yeah.
Can you describe? This is the first time we've seen Huck channel magic that specifically attacks a mind. I think.
And I'm angry, I guess.
And you're angry.
Is this the most powerful spell you've cast?
I think I tried it before and failed.
Cool.
Or it's what I used to kill the Dustin the turkey. Sorry, Dustin the
Kenku.
The Kenku. Yeah.
Dustin the Kenku may have died as a result of the spell.
I think he did.
That reminds me, I hope a lot of werewolves don't die. Maybe werewolves have less of an intelligence.
Well, the way it was set up is sort of, I think I described it last episode, almost like a Pokeball. So, like, behind you are all werewolves, ahead of you all Fianna.
Cool. Well, then it's 8d6. So if you know what's going on, I'll just roll the 8d6.
Yeah, I do. But shake them real close to your mic because it's satisfying.
Okay. 2, 3, 4.
On any other show, that'd be bad sound, but on this, it's like, that ASMR clicky clackies. Give it to me. Good stuff.
Yeah. Good.
Right. That's 8, right? Yes. Okay. So, 4 of them are 6s. So that's what's 4 6s? 32. 24. 24. Good thing you guys to check. Then there is another 4 and a 2, which is a 6. So 30. And then 35, 38. 38 damage, half of which to anyone that succeeded in their check. And anyone who didn't succeed in their check is muddled for a minute. And they have to roll a d6 and subtract that. And that's the minus roll from all their attack rolls, ability checks, constitution saving throws to maintain constitution. But at any point in time, they can take their turn to do an intelligence saving throw to fix their muddled in that minute if they want.
Cool. Yeah, I might pull that up. I might pull the spell up just here this way. No, because I can tell you, as you described this to the audience, all of them failed.
All right, great. So he's angry. Huck's just decided to battle. If I'm talking in my normal voice, he's making his cloak as billowy as possible. He's decided he was going to go in for what is normal finger guns into his pocket for the old fire, but this is different. So he goes into his pocket. You're expecting finger guns, but actually it's just like jazz hands.
You're going to say he pulls out an actual gun.
Yeah, this time he actually shoots everyone. No, it's just jazz hands. I mean, it starts quite nice. Just this little kind of motion, but slowly.
Spirit fingers.
An electric, a kind of invisible, but at the same time visible. I guess you can see the distortion, but not the thing, of like crackling lightning cloud at head level. Let's say straight head level on everyone there, which just creates this huge fizzly explosion of electricity. And then I guess they're all stupefied. Ooh, great. That is exactly what I wanted to happen. Sorry, there's also a follow-up action.
That's not it?
That was it until it all worked. Great.
As in you have more to do. Sorry, I thought there was more to the spell.
No, that's it. That's the spell. So I then quickly, and I have no idea if this will work, so let's just go within the story of the description. I can use my bonus action to control the carpet, and the carpet's incredibly long. They're mostly on top of the carpet, but maybe it's free enough.
Yeah, there's a little bit of end carpet behind them that you can control.
Okay, but there's okay, because I was going to say, as within as much ability as I have, try to wrap the carpet or give it the order to encircle them while they're stupefied. Perhaps I can capture everyone in the same place at once.
Don't mean to.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'm going to get them to do all a like an acrobatics or an athletics to see if they get out of the way. I'm going to do that against your spell save DC, which I think is 17.
Yeah.
I just asked, can you cast a spell and?
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as you don't cast another concentration.
I can't cast another spell with.
And if he takes any damage, he has to take Constitution saves.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's the rule that so easily slips any DM's mind because the player immediately forgets they've done it, I think understandably, and then the DM has like 50 other things to worry about.
That's why I said it at the start, because it was like annoyingly I had concentration on keeping a carpet alive and 2 candles.
You've movement, you've used your bonus action, and you've used your action. Do you want to move anywhere?
No, I'm pretty happy where I am. I'll get off of the carpet if I'm standing on the carpet in any way.
You give a free action for any cool quips.
I will say, "Take that, you wee bastards!" He's angry. He's not thinking straight. You know.
Yeah, he's going pure rage.
How about that for pulling the rug out from under you?
Hey!
Would be something he would say.
As soon as you stopped trying, he nailed it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know that Huck would say that. But anyway, yeah. If he was James Bond.
I think Huck would say that and have no idea that it was a pun. He would just say it as a fact, very literally.
Yeah. So that's why people say pull the rug out from under people. He's just got it.
There's obviously a literal rug in most fights and arguments that people pull.
Yeah.
Arlington, you from behind you feel this sort of the hair on the back of your neck rise up as this sort of static synaptic range goes. It's like the noise in the room goes completely mute until it goes and cracks in this in this like thundery, muddlesome cloud, and you see all of them rocked. Pazzo, who was closest to you, is actually blown back a little bit, not in any mechanical sense, dramatically, and they are all looking very confused as snake-like this carpet wraps around them, binding them tight. It is your turn. Pazzo is looking very bad.
Okay. As a player, I want to ask, when they're muddled like this, I forget how the stat works. Does damage break the effect, or do we have like advantage on attacks against them?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You don't have advantage on attacks against them. The only effect it has is they have to roll a d6 and subtract. That's their penalty.
Yeah.
It's not a hypnotic pattern situation. Because as fun as it is to barbarian a situation, it's annoying when you just got such an unreal attack and then I just ruin it by hitting them.
You wake them up. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to... how far away am I from them? Am I like within running range?
Close.
Sort of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arlington's going to pull out his shield and then pull his arms out of his Naruto run. First of all, actually, all of Arlington's fur has like puffed out, like he looks like a Samoyed husky from that electricity shooting past his neck. So he actually looks like a very well manicured fancy dog, which he doesn't like. But he's drawn his Lair Skull Axe up out of the stone floor, having gotten the GFX money's worth with the sparks, and he's now wearing his shield and axe. And he's gonna like jump over Randir, and Randir just hears this and I'm gonna use a bonus action to rage midair and do this kind of like flip and like try and land down and split Pazzo in half and be like, I'm gonna get you.
Okay.
Attack with the Lair Skull Axe.
Yes, absolutely. Make an attack.
It is not reckless. I'm saving that because I feel like this muddled situation could end and I'm going to be in the middle of them, and that's bad. So that is a 10 plus 19 or plus 9. That is 19 to hit.
19 to hit. You get the feeling 19 is almost about to hit until from the corner you hear, "What a wicked game you play." And singer-songwriter James Vincent McMorrow is there as one of the Fianna.
I fucking knew he was a werewolf and he lived in a town called Ossory in the middle of nowhere. I fucking knew it.
He is one of the Fianna, and he's cutting words as your attack with his cover of Chris Isaac. And so minus 11 to that brings it down to a 8, I think.
Okay, cool. Then, okay, so the Lair Skull Axe clings into the ground and like a shocking amount of sparks shoot out because we had one more squib left. And then I want to use the momentum from that hit to kind of like bounce it up and then try and reverse, like kind of split Pazzo up the middle from the bottom.
Yes.
And use my second attack for that action.
Yeah, make an attack.
Oh, that's a lot better. That is 26.
26, yeah, it definitely hits.
Cool. So then damage is not good. Bollocks. That is 5 plus 1 is 6 plus my rage. Oh, where's my rage gone? Oh god, I think it's a 3. We'll go with 3. It's definitely no less than that. So that is a 9. 9 slashing.
9. You all see Arlington kind of rip up, and your blade cuts through the carpet itself, and as these threads go, it's like you're kind of jimming the zip on a hoodie. It just and you slice, and you see blood spurt like manga style, like either side of James, not James Vincent McMorrow. He's fine.
I finally killed James Vincent McMorrow, one of the most successful Irish artists of all time. Thank you. The campaign is over.
You see Pazzo split, and his innards begin to sort of pull over as he falls backwards, seemingly unconscious.
Oh
god! He's
making
death saving throws. He's a magic man. He's not strong like the others.
Wow. Didn't expect that. Cool.
I think the artist is just like, oh no.
I think Arlington just really liked the idea of splitting someone in half, but he's never seen it before, and he's actually feels a bit queasy. But
is this what this feels like?
Yeah,
I shouldn't do this.
Is this people. Murder?
Literally disemboweled him. You know, that word means.
In twain. Is that what that you cleft?
Yeah, cleft right in twain like Macbeth.
Yeah.
I'm going to. So that's my bonus action and my action. I'm going to action surge, so I get another action, and I'm going to use it to. Well, actually, you tell me if I want to basically make an intimidation check, and I feel like that's not a free action. But if there's blood that's after Quentin Tarantinoing all over me, I want to like stand there with like an axe and point it at the rest of them who are muddled. I'm not sure if they can understand me or not, actually. And I'll say, the rest of you don't want to join this bloodbath, you'd best put them swords away.
Nice.
I think,
but I specifically want to make my violent demeanor, and oh shit, I've got puffed up fur. I don't look violent at all. Never mind.
The blood spray just matted that all down. So the two, I think both Randir and Huck have things to add to this potentially.
Okay, cool.
So in order of who I heard first, I heard Randir.
I was just gonna say that I was just gonna try and look intimidating as well, kind of thing, to kind of give advantage help.
Nice. And Huck?
I was going to say for flavor. Actually, the first thing I was going to say is there's lots of on the Yeti can cross-eyed tiny Yeti heads. So while they're all muddled, I was going to say they're seeing Yeti heads around their head. But actually, if they're all muddled and Arlington's trying to intimidate them, then I would suggest that they see him as a giant Yeti.
Is this basically like Scarecrow fear toxin and they're shitting themselves?
I was thinking that before. Yeah. That it's muddledness is just making them. Yeah. They see that.
Yeah.
And for the podcast, it's these. They have these kind of burnt yellowy red bloodshot eyes, big like incisors dripping down on what is like not your friendly Christmas Yeti. This ain't your granddad's Yeti. This is a vicious Luke's captured and hanging upside down on Hoth kind of Yeti. Which I don't think are called Yetis in the Star Wars universe, but come at me, nerds. They're something else. They're banthas. No, they're not. They're obviously not banthas. I know.
No, banthas are the other ones.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
So am I making a check?
Yes, with advantage, with the help of your party surrounding you. And just before you do this, you hear one of the werewolves in werewolf form go, "The birds, the river," as blood starts soaking into their gorgeous carpet. They'll never come out.
So this is what intimidation is it?
Yes.
Which I'm not good at. So glad we had advantage on that one, boys. Thank you very much indeed. That is 19 minus 1, 18.
18. Yeah, they're what I'm gonna say for that is they're gonna lose their bonus action.
Cool. I'll take that. That's
suitably shook. I think that's pretty big.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting them to just like all immediately be like, "Oh, I guess I'll reevaluate my life."
Clang, 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 clang. It would be Pazzo's turn, so he's going to make a death saving throw. Okay.
In hindsight, I could have just killed him, but that's probably not the best thing to do.
Does the minus D6 apply to death saving throws?
I don't think his mind is muddled. I think he's unconscious. Unless it's the ultimate muddle, to be honest. You can't think straight at all when you're unconscious. So I think it's
he's lying there being like, "Do I want to die?"
Yeah. It's a conscious
so
choice.
I think any lasting arcane effects, if I'm correct, kind of fall off a creature if they fall unconscious. Most of the time, they're just dead in D&D. But because Pazzo's a bit more of a notable NPC, he gets death saving throws.
I'm all in favor of NPCs having death saving throws. It's cool.
These archers, no, they're a dime a dozen. In fact, you buy them in a pack like that. But
packs of 10
for a dime. Iggy, it is your turn. You see Arlington essentially cut a member of the Fianna who looked pretty high ranking in half. Not fully, but like at least he now looks like a pencil case.
Yeah, and so is it too soon to know if the other guys, if they look like they are responding to that and stopping, or are they still attacking? Is anyone that I can see my party being directly attacked?
I really hope they're not too stupid to give you an indication. They're just like, "Duh, I think he's dead."
They said to look after the boss. It's hard because where they are, they're all clumped together. There's Arlington, there's Randir, both quite broad-shouldered beasts of the world, and a carpet wrapped around them, and they're all huddled together. You can see, roughly speaking, taking in the room, the werewolves do generally seem to have the upper hand.
Okay, yeah, because I had something in mind that was going to be more elaborate, but I feel like Iggy doesn't really know what's going on here, and if it doesn't seem threatening, I might send an inspiration to Arlington or something. But I'm thinking like I could hypnotic pattern if they're all together, but that would just charm them, and if they're muddled, I don't know if that's helpful.
Well, hypnotic pattern will completely stop them from acting, and they'll. Is that an intelligence? If it's an intelligence save, they'll have disadvantage or something. Is that no?
Any saving?
Well, any saving throw they'll have.
Yeah, so it's much more likely for it to work. Hypnotic pattern is crazy powerful. I say go for it.
Okay, I'll do a hypnotic pattern on that group because I feel like it seems like they're being wrangled in some way. So I'm going to cast hypnotic pattern.
Ooh.
I remember the very first time I ever saw automatic pattern. I was running a game and my brother used it, and I was like, "This, like, you're obviously misreading the rules." And I looked at the book. I'm like, "Holy shit, you're not! This spell is so good."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're incapacitated and has a speed of 0 if they fail, if they become charmed. Okay.
For up to a
Mhm.
minute, like that's
So this
a
is the
lot of
one where
time.
if anyone damages them, they're uncharmed. Okay.
Yeah, so I made wisdom saving throws for them there. And Iggy, describe for the audience what this sort of looks like.
I'm thinking that it looks like it's all around them. So it's in between them. It's kind of, if they look at themselves, it's over them, and it's hair. It's like, are they becoming werewolves? Oh my goodness, have we become our opponent? And it's freaking them out, and they're like, maybe we're one of you. That's what I'm thinking.
Sending them on a bad trip.
That is incredible. It has that sort of hypnotic pattern always reminds me of like an LSD sort of trip. And you remember in the 60s where they used to always use that wave sort of background for things? Like that hair mixed in with wave, mixed in with kind of everything there. They are engrossed by it seemingly. However, before it fully takes root in their mind, I want you to roll a d20. Just flat, just tell me the result.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
I fully thought that spell was going to look like a big art attack. Do you remember those? When you wouldn't know what it was until the camera panned up the whole way.
Wait, is this an art attack?
Yeah.
This is an art attack. Oh,
This
this
is an art
is
attack.
art attack. You don't need to add anything, just whatever the number on the dice
I know.
is.
Sorry, I managed to I'm somehow managed to lose the one dice that I was just
Okay.
playing with, and I just pressed it on the app. I don't know if anyone can see. I don't know if it rolled on the. Can anyone see what I rolled there?
I didn't spot it.
For anyone else?
Did not.
Let's roll it again.
Yeah.
I've clicked it. It's saying like 2, 3. It's now saying 3. What does that mean?
Well, I
Oh
mean,
my god! I have the worst luck.
It might mean
I
3.
have. It's right here. Look at me, guys.
Oh, there
I'm
it
on
is.
top of my laptop. I'm sorry. That was a 13.
13.
Worth the wait.
Yeah.
Fucking torturous.
You reach into the part of you that creates magic, and there's something not there. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced writer's block, but it's like you have that when it comes to weaving magic.
Shit.
oh no.
Okay.
And the spell doesn't take. It started, but you're like, no, that's not how that works. You know, when you start something, you're like, no, and you're kind of constantly going back on yourself. It's like a sketch, and you're like, you're just not happy with it. And a perfectionist part of you just almost overanalyzes it and crushes your creativity, and the spell doesn't hold.
This campaign
That's your
just
action.
became too real. I'd like to leave now.
I mean, she just woke up. You know, she's a little tired.
Yeah, she's just
You
groggy.
haven't done your morning pages.
I'm just really hoping it's not to do anything with what he did.
Oh yeah, and well, I also like signed a deal with the devil. You know, who knows what's going
Yeah.
on. Okay, I think that's gonna like really shake me, and Iggy almost like falls against the wall and is kind of like, what the fuck is happening? But can I, for a bonus action, shoot some inspiration to Arlington as I'm like, oh, okay, I'm slightly trying to help. And it's
Yeah.
my
My brain is melting, but you're still doing great.
So instead of sending him like what I'm actually sending is probably some sort of like a bunch of hair all over his body, because it's like a mix of things and I'm confused. But it's ultimately going to inspire him to like, yeah, you're cool. Like,
I love the trend. It's just hair. Good hair, bad hair. It's all hair.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Arlington's
She's
all
obviously
over
not in a game. I don't know. Does that work, Ben? Can I do it? Can I send it?
Yeah, no, that works. Arlington, it's like someone said, do you get a haircut? It's really nice. And that level of like, oh, nice, my hair. I feel good about myself. You're feeling yourself.
Because he was feeling very self-conscious about his hair after the poofiness. So yeah, perfect.
And you can move if you want, or you can kind of stay towards rough. I think you're sort of behind the werewolves at the back of the room.
Yeah, I'm at the back of the room now, shook physically. Yeah.
Nice, just what I want. We'll be back to you as we go to these 3 archers who are now in melee range and also kind of wrapped in a carpet. One of them calls out and for assistance. Huck, you know this phrase. It's one of your classic code phrases in the Fianna. They say underwater welding, which is a keyword. Again, I should point out, the collaboration that Wicklow Wolf and James Vincent McMorrow have done is quite nice.
Was it
good
actually
job.
James Vincent McMorrow? I don't know why.
Yeah, sorry. It
didn't focus probably.
Yeah,
I thought it said like Marrow or something, and then we just took liberties. That's what a weird pairing.
Yeah, grapefruit season is what it's called.
Actually, will we do a very quick group check-in and see who's enjoying their beers?
Yeah, it's supposed to. I like this one. The James Vincent McMorrow beer with Wicklow Wolf is pretty good.
Weird. I would not have guessed that'd be the winner. Like,
it's a grapefruit IPA. Can't go wrong.
How's the Yeti look?
It's absolutely delicious.
It's good.
I don't think I ever said what it was before. It's a strawberry, raspberry, red currant, banana, vanilla, and lactose beer.
So you got an alcoholic smoothie.
Yeah, it tastes exactly like a smoothie in a way. It's delicious. It's also 7%, which I've just seen now.
Okay.
So.
The Steady on the Japes is class. The Lucky Jack is fine. Yeah, it's all right. It's good.
Your Keelan experience is going okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steady on the Japes,
How's
I
the
would
Falling
100%
Down?
get again. Very good.
The Falling Down is very cidery.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just it tastes better than like any of the other ciders that I had when I was underage drinking.
That's good. No. Lucy's The Orchard Thieves also.
For the internet, the age was a bridge we had in our town where only people overage were like,
we drank with the police. They encouraged it.
No. When I was, what was the cider? What's the general cider?
Bulmers.
Bulmers, yeah.
Every cider as an adult has to overcome those bottles of Bulmers that we drank. It makes you feel sick. You can't drink it. But
worse. No, you brought out that Orchard Thieves, and even though I know I've had it and it's perfectly nice, all I think is, do you remember like Linden Village? Any cider in a plastic bottle, it's just piss.
Oh,
it's but I think of that when I see that, and I'm like, that's definitely not how it tastes.
No, this is lovely. Orchard
No,
Thieves
I like Orchard Thieves. I know I've had it before, but I have that stigma in my head.
Well, Falling Down is really good.
Irish adult.
I only realized that it was also 5.5%. So
there we go.
Nice. Where was I? We're playing D&D. That's where. I was saying, they all shut out underwater welding, and you see some of the archers that were helping fight the werewolves. They all run up the stairs to the balcony, and you see one of them take a shot and misses. Another one takes a shot that hits the roof and hits, and you hear this creaking as the chandelier that was over the opening of the entrance crashes down onto you, Arlington. Arlington, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fucking knew you were going for the chandeliers. As soon as you said they're running up the stairs, I'm like, he's gonna fucking drop a chandelier on me. I know he is.
You should use confidence because of your haircut.
That's true. I'm too suave. I've got that Robin Hood vibe, so I feel like I'm good at. Sorry, is this a dex saving throw?
Dex saving throw.
Let me just go through D&D Beyond real quick. Where is that fucking feature that I cannot find?
Can't be surprised. Advantage on dex saving throws when you're raging?
No, well, yes, but this wouldn't count as surprise. No, there we go. Shield Master. Where is it gone? If you aren't incapacitated, you can add your shield's AC bonus to any dex saving throw you make against effects that target only you. Any effect that allows half damage on success, you can use your action to take no damage. So it takes my reaction, basically. I can either take half damage if it hits me, and if I succeed, it takes no damage.
I think because this is sort of area of effect, but the area is only you. Actually, Randy, you're in this area. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not single target.
Yeah, it's a big enough chandelier.
Cool.
Sorry. I should have.
No, that's fair. Like it's the idea is it's like hiding behind your shield. So if it's an area that would make no sense, I'm just chancing my arm.
15 altogether.
Nice.
I'm going to use the DM inspiration I got for describing the scene because I got rolled a 5, and I got a 12 plus my dex of 2. I'm actually going to add Iggy's bardic inspiration as well. Is that a D6?
D8, I believe. Yeah.
D8. Yeah, definitely going to add that because I don't trust that 12 at all.
8.
I rolled an 8. First max D8.
Nice.
So that's 20 plus 2, 22.
22. both of you dive out of the way, taking only 2 fire damage and 4 bludgeoning damage. That's all you take.
Okay, so that's I'm raging, so that's half to 3 total for me.
Yeah. And as the candles from the chandelier fall down, you can see some of the wax and some of the wicks have landed on the carpet near these people. That movement of you jumping out of the way has given them the space they need to kind of try get out of this carpet, make some space, and fire at you. I have to roll a couple of checks here. 1, to escape the carpet. 2, to attack. All of them minus a d6. So let's see. Escaping the carpet.
I feel so bad for these NPCs because they've been mentally manipulated to think they're surrounded in hair, and there's a physical carpet grabbing them. So they must feel like, you know what? What's the Japanese horror movie with like the hair in the bathwater? It's not The Ring. It's the other one. Not The Ring. The other one. The Grudge. It's like The Grudge.
I
No,
know.
the hair in the bathwater.
I can't remember.
Stayed with me for fucking months after I saw it. I hate it. They did an American remake with Sarah Michelle Gellar from Buffy for some reason. It was weird.
I do remember that one, and the first thing that came to my head when I saw that was why.
Yeah, it was very. It seemed like even she was kind of like, why am I here?
Yeah.
I'm a successful actress. I don't need this.
Well, she dwindled. She dwindled after.
Yeah. Maybe I've just got her built up in my head as more than she was.
I mean, I said forever on Buffy.
Yeah.
It's no dwindling. You don't need to go. You don't need to keep topping that. That's it.
No, I think
Yeah. I'm sure
she's
she's still cashing those checks along with David Boreanaz, who didn't actually. He worked on Bones for free. He's like still cashing those angel checks.
He's doing.
Buffy's in. Sarah Michelle Gellar's in Masters of the Universe Revelations.
Oh shit! Yes, of course. I knew. I was like, she's definitely still working.
Yeah.
All I could think
So
of was
I've
Buffy
the
and
results
Cruel
of what
Intentions.
happened in very quickly there. 2 of the archers of the 3 in the carpet managed to kind of tumble and roll backwards. As they do it backwards on the ground, they brace one of their knees up. So they're kind of in that proposing pose, but with bows and arrows. And they pull out 2 arrows from their quiver and aim them at you, Arlington, and you, Rander, either side. So they kind of tumble back like a V, and in this really coordinated move, try to fire 4 arrows in total towards you.
These boys are firing 2 arrows at a time.
I'm just gonna.
Well, they get multi-attack. So I'm just.
Oh no, I figured. I more mean as in like they're not. Basically, I'm thinking that I figured they're not just fucking new recruits. That's also cool.
I'm gonna.
Good.
I'm gonna look to Arlington with an impressed look in my face. Like, they could be like, oh.
Look at you like that's pretty cool. Ow.
Yeah. Huck's
I don't
that
need
is,
to.
you know.
I don't need to ask your AC because I know, based on the synaptic static that they had to roll, that this is nowhere. Like that really crippled them. So as they roll back and aim and fire, one of them just fucking straight into the roof. God, got him. And the other one is like, just lets go, and they fall lazily to the floor.
Did they both do like remember that movie Wanted? And they just did the like looking away, trying to curve the arrows, and then it just shoots at the wall instead.
Exactly that. But all of them at the end of their turn get to try save intelligence saving throw against this. And none of them do.
Nice.
So 17 is really
so
bad.
they meant like they think they did real well.
Yeah. They're like nice, and they got a high five and miss too. Like.
They like shoot
Smack
out
each other in the
rainbows
face.
from their bow, as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
Pew.
Randir, a werewolf leaps past you and pounces one of the Fianna you didn't see coming towards you, narrowly kind of saving you from an attack of a short sword. As you see the 3 in front of you and the 2 archers, which we'll call like backup archers, up on the balcony. These 5 tend to be your problem at the moment.
Okay.
In terms of environmental stuff, there's a chandelier in the ground. It's slowly setting the carpet on fire. There are suits of armor around that you can use for cover. Huck seems to be controlling a carpet that's slowly catching on fire.
Not carpet.
So who's the closest like group to me?
Probably those 3 archers. One of them still trapped in the carpet.
So
Trapped in the carpet.
I feel so bad for this guy trapped in the carpet.
I'm gonna, I guess, can I move towards them? And because I still got my warhammer right, so it's a little bit hard.
Whoa, what's a little bit hard? You can't just.
It's a little bit hard to cast spells while
This is
having my
going really
Warhammer.
well.
Yeah, you can move towards him, of course.
Cool.
Yeah, you menacingly walk towards this guy. He's not even in your full movement distance. You can take your time. You can even do a little circle and walk towards him. You've got plenty of movement.
Well, no, hang on. Not the guy in the carpet. I want to hit one of the guys out of the carpet.
Oh, yeah. They're
cool.
still also within. You're all kind of within about 15, 20 feet of each other.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just going to take a big swing with my Warhammer. Look, I got a natural
Nice.
1. Oh, I got a 7.
Ooh.
Sorry. It just already looks on the dice. I got a 17 altogether.
17 altogether. Wow, 7 plus 10. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a pretty good, because it's magical, right? It's got all those pluses.
Yeah.
17 just hits. So you managed to boom straight against them. And we're still in the first round, so James tomorrow can't use his reaction to do anything about it. So he's already done it with Arlington.
Well,
I wish I knew more of his back catalogue of music to make puns and join in this gag, but he's always.
It's terrible that the only one I know is a cover song of he does a really good cover of Wicked Game, but like I'm sure he has he's 2 albums.
Yeah, that's
like award-winning.
That's actually the only song I know by him.
Yeah, and it's not even.
I think he did a Tiny Desk recently with like Saint Sister and all those.
I got a 16 on damage.
16 on damage. Nice. So there are, I didn't really describe these archers, but just to give them a little bit of descriptive flavor, they're all in that Fianna uniform. It's a little different from one you see Huck wearing. You get the feeling that each Dune has their own sort of style and cut. They're in kind of a green half cape. 2 of them are women, one of them's a man, and it's the man with the beard that you have hit. Oof. You can describe that damage.
I ask here, I'm genuinely curious. Are they all the same race, or is there a mix of stuff? And I don't mean to be like, do you make up these characters? I mean, genuinely, are they all kind of?
Some of them have hoods up, so it's hard to tell if they're human or half elf. But the man is definitely not an elf. With a beard this good, you think that, and then it's sort of like wax begins to melt because of the flame, and you get the feeling that maybe he's an elf all along wearing a fake beard.
Cool. Okay. Good to know.
Rander, you said 17?
16 damage.
16. Okay, cool. Boom. Yeah. How do you wallop this guy?
Yeah, I guess like I run up and just as I'm running up, just like a baseball like a baseball bat, I like lower my hand to the bottom as I swing just to get the real good leverage onto it and just really pump.
Nice. Roll me a d20. Just flat. Just let me know what the. If you get above a 15, let me know.
I got a 10.
Nice. You get the feeling with a little bit more momentum, you could have fucking swept the leg here. But you managed to just crush chin at the side, not quite the knee, more the upper thigh, and that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Yeah, I think it's too hard for me to do any kind of spells or anything. So, yeah, so I'm good.
Cool. Which brings us to the top of the round. Huck, taking in the scene around you, chaos, which is usually your element, has gotten out of control. You see some of the werewolves kind of limping and help in the corner as like 2 Fianna tried to like stab it with swords. They seem to surround this one poor werewolf creature. But there's other werewolves from a pack closing in around them. So it's an odd little Russian doll of 1 wounded werewolf to 2 seemingly okay Fianna to 3 that they don't realize are stalking up behind them. It's the mayhem of battle. And in Hibernia, we don't play by the one-on-one rules of history. That's what we did in history, right? You just respected that it's 1-to-1 all the time.
It's all very civil, yep.
Yeah, that's why they called them civil wars. The King Feradach MacDuke and his brother Lynok Phalad, they are holding their own. They seem to be able to take on a couple, and they seem to be pushing the fight to their favor. A lot of your Fianna brethren have either you see one of them throw down their sword and kind of back up, and the werewolves seem to be kind of pinning them in place, waiting for potential orders from their leader. The battle is turning, but like battle's battle. One wrong move by anyone and it could easily sway the other way.
Okay, so some of the Fianna are giving up. How many?
You get the feeling that they've at least, put their hands up and are of the 18 that came in, 12 are still fighting, and 5 of them seem to be fighting you.
Right. Okay. I'm. Yeah. If they're all actively going after me, then
You plural is in your group.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Grant. So, right. So they're still doing anything. I had hoped tying them up with the carpet would have meant that they would be inhibited. Unfortunately, a lot of danger ensued afterwards. So I don't have a nice wrapped in a neat little bow. Oh, good, I stopped the fight. So, let's see. I've used a hell of a lot of my spells, stopping Paul.
I was wondering when you'd start regretting that.
No, I still have a Scorching Ray.
Which I can aim at Paul.
Yeah. Now, how many are any of them on me? I'm at a distance, right?
To bring Chad into the fold, you see that one of the Fianna seems to pull out a pouch and dig into it, and the one that seems to be giving up throws out a handful of dust. The dust instantly turns into scorpions, which turn into a hill of scorpions. Thank you, Lindsay. And another one seems to wild shape into a tiger. Rawr. Also, thank you, Lindsay. Not Sky Tiger, mind you. They're alive and well. Graham's tiger, the not endangered type, the ones you can kill and not feel bad about.
Oh.
Finally.
Christ. Okay. Well, is there anywhere where I could see a 20-foot radius that wouldn't cause damage to my own party? Is there like some?
Yeah. Really, it's such a skirmish at the moment.
The archers who ran up the stairs, no?
Yeah, either one. Sorry, but you'd only be getting one of them.
Okay, yeah, that's actually the plan I had anyway. So I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, which is, as you remember, 3 rays, which I can target 3 different people. So going back into my other pocket, pulling out finger gun. And
that's where
I think I keep putting your hand in, but never pulling anything out, just different hand gestures.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got this somewhere. Oh yeah, here we go.
Like Huck is genuinely going through his inventory like, no, I left my finger gun in the left breast pocket.
These hand gestures are like his spell focus as well.
Yeah. Somatic component.
They're ninja hand signs.
Just build him a holster.
Right.
So he can put his fingers.
I've literally never done this before. I'm casting it at 4th level, which gives me 2 additional rays. So it's now 5 different individual rays of damage. So,
shit! Nice. It's high noon.
Yeah.
Is that literally where you're going?
If you want to use your can, you can get more rays. I'll let you do. You've got 6 rays at the moment, 5 rays.
5 rays. I got 5 rays.
I'll let you have
D&D
a full
podcast
chamber.
that can compete with Matt Mercer.
What's quite nice about this is that even though it's just a batch number, it says 1851 on it, which really looks like a year, which is very Wild Westy. But apparently that's the batch number of it.
That's such a stretch.
Look, I'm just saying it's nice. I'm not saying I'm doing it.
I know, but it's so good.
If you wanted to use it, you could have an extra bullet in a 6-chamber, Wild West pistol. Yeah, you can have 1 extra ray if you want to use that beer.
Yeah.
The last bullet has Pazzo written across it.
Right.
This one's for the man who killed my father.
That's 6 people. Do you want me to roll for each one individually, or do you want me to just roll and see if any of them get hit?
Yeah. Who are you? Are you trying to aim at 6 people, or trying to what's your dispersion of rays?
I'm going to try to aim at 6 individual people because I'm still also trying to intimidate them with the ability. If there's 6 individual within 120 feet, that's the range.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely the 2 archers. They're the first 2. Get the 2 at the height. Pam, bam, and then the ones any of the others, your choice. Pazzo's on the ground. I don't think I need to set him on fire.
Nope.
Losing.
He didn't make his save, did he?
He did at the end. We're just top of the round.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff. Only 6 seconds have passed. Keelan, if you're going to target,
but this is all in Huck's Red Dead Redemption slow time 6-shooter kind of thing. So
Yeah, I'll definitely be cocking, fanning the.
Fanning the thumb.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do
Do you have six
Just
D20s?
Huck's there fanning his cock. It's all
I
going
have
really well.
I don't have 60-20s, but I can roll D20 6 times pretty quickly.
If you can do it within, I'll tell you
You
what.
sound so weirdly proud of that.
And add one.
I'm gonna do something kind of wild here. I'm gonna give you 6 seconds to roll as many D20s as you possibly can, and let me know how many of them are above a 16. I'm gonna give you a 5-second countdown, and then you get to go, and then I'll say over when the 6
This is about
seconds.
as
Ready?
close as any of us will ever get to being on the
5,
crystal maze.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Shit, that was a 2. That's an 8. That's a 9. That's a 15. That's a 6. That's a
6. Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay.
How many did you get above 16?
None.
No, one. You got a 15.
I-
Oh,
that's
shit, yeah, it was
that's
15.
just straight
That's
on dice. 2 12s,
Yes.
15, a 9, an 8, a 2. I rolled more than 6 times, but none of them.
That's
15
good. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
15 was the closest, but I presume there's bonuses that I add to spell tax, plus 9 to all of them, but I presume you're asking
Nice.
number.
So the lowest one you rolled there was an 8, I think.
A 2. I rolled a 2 first.
Oh, so only one of them misses then, which is the 2, because even the 8 you rolled still beats, plus 9 still beats the 16. So 6 attacks hit out of, I think you rolled 7.
I think yeah. We'd have to watch it back.
We'll
it
check the
was
bar
2.
afterwards. But let's say 6, all 6 of them hit.
Nice.
All
right.
But we'll just do 1 damage roll, because doing that again is...
Yeah.
But I will
it's
say,
2d6.
if you get more High Noon, you now have an ability called High Noon, which is we give you 6 seconds to roll as many d20s as long as you roll them one at a time.
So High Noon, if you want to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like a way to make it like beer focused. And I was like booze focused. Like there's a drink called a highball. I'm like, no, if we call it a highball, it'll just be a dick joke, and that's not the same.
Yeah, and we're both on this show.
We are. We're too crude.
Highbrow.
Highbrow. Oh damn it! It was right there.
All right, roll your damage.
It's not as loud, is it, when it's 2 dice?
What's your damage, Keelan?
It is 5. It's
5. Cool.
Yeah, 5 per each one of those.
Nice.
I think. I'm trying to remember. Scorching Ray, it's been so long. Yeah, 2d6, that's it. Oh wait, it's 2d6, so 5 each, yeah.
Nice.
3 and a 2.
You fill the room like black bars come across your vision. So you scan and do a full 360 around the room, shooting off these 6, which works really nice. 6 into 360 every 90 degrees.
60.
60 degrees. Yeah, every 60 degrees, you're firing another one off, and these rays just go from above. It seems like a wonderful like Irish mythology spiral as we kind of long expose this shot and see these kind of bending scorching rays around, dealing 5 damage.
Technically, cumulatively 30 damage.
We pull
exactly
back and
that.
see some guy with a laser pen, and it just kind of breaks the illusion.
Yeah, the fact that I'm
If
saying
you would focus that on one person, that would have been pretty devastating.
Yeah. This is all intimidation. It's all intimidation.
Do you want to roll an intimidation check?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I actually think I'm better at intimidation than Arlington is.
Significantly better, yeah.
You are significantly more intimidating though as well.
Yeah.
I'm like Arlington's he's a physically intimidating guy, but he has a -1 to intimidation, and then both Iggy and Huck have like a +11 to their charisma.
Huck has small puka syndrome, which has been
he's a
I've
little
only got a +5 to intimidation.
I've got a +9, yeah.
Yeah, like
That's my creepy damage deal though.
So Huck is like a yappy little terrier that's like weirdly scary to kids, and then Iggy's like a Great Dane that doesn't have to impress anyone. It's just like whatever. Like I'll eat you if I want to, but I don't need to.
I feel like it doesn't really fit with my character. Anyway.
Obviously, as a person, she's obviously a border collie.
I also enjoyed how that like you were all like, oh, I got a 5 and I got a 9. It's just like, yeah, to a guy who has -1, it's
-1 buddies. Yeah.
I have a +1, but that's it. Like
Right.
me and you are weirdly the physical people. Even
Still
though
nerds. Shut up. Keelan, give me that intimidation check.
18 overall.
Nice.
Wow.
We have Arlington up next. Arlington, you have a good battle sense. The vibe of the room is changing. You're hearing more snarls and less Carls. And someone goes, Carl! As Carl is slaying in front of you. It is your turn.
Does it look like the Fianna are trying to like back up? Are they trying to get out of here?
Yeah. They look like they ran into a dog hound pound. I don't know.
I know how
Look,
that
I used
goes.
up a lot of my DM juice.
It has to be the worst
all
6 seconds of their life.
Um,
That was whatever the opposite of painting a picture was. That was.
Yeah. Oh, was it my job to
Blurring our
describe?
business.
yeah. Okay, so are the okay? You said there's some of the Fianna that are like backed up to in a corner, surrounded by the werewolves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to run over in between the Fianna and the werewolves, and I want to try and like be like, here, let them go. I'm trying to think what would be the best way to rationalize with werewolves with these guys who just kill them.
Hey, no, stay.
No, put it,
stay.
drop it. No.
Laser pointer?
Animal handling?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because I
Or
realized I
persuasion.
was about to just do a fucking persuasion roll, which is just we've learned I'm not good at.
They're not animals. They're sentient werewolf beings.
Yeah, okay.
It's real rich coming from a bugbear. Like these savages.
Yeah.
Can they even
50%
think?
of the time are
Okay.
humanoid.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Right. I'm gonna run over. Excuse me. I'm gonna
Keep that.
saunter.
No, keep that voice. That's really cool.
Yeah, I wish I could go back to that now. It's gone. No, it's gone. I'm gonna walk up to the Fianna who are pinned, and kind of like clap a hand on one of the werewolves in a battle brotherly fashion, and I presume I'm still covered in Pazzo's blood.
You can shake it off, obviously, but
no, I'm gonna leave it on there. I'm liking the carry vibes I've got going on, and I'm gonna throw the Lair Skull axe between the. I mean, I assume there's at least 2 Fianna officers there. I'm gonna try and throw it onto the wall between them, just to scare the shit out of them, and just growl, leave.
Nice. Then, make an attack roll. It's not hard. If you get above a 12, you pin it between them on a piece of banner.
You say it's not hard. Oh wait, plus 1 modifier.
If you don't do well,
that is
you
a
kill one of
15.
them.
15, nice, yeah. The ones that were kind of going in for 2 sort of short sword attacks on this downed werewolf suddenly stop as this large axe, comparatively to them, just gunk and hits against the wall. They initially think something just missed, and then they think something big just missed, and they turn around to you as you say, leave. And you hear their swords cling, 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 drop to the ground.
Cool. As I do that, I want to then use my bonus action to I'm going to put my hand out to the Lair Skull axe and just think, return. I'm going to see if it comes back to me.
Yeah, make a religion check.
Oh, Christ. You're killing me.
I know.
Religion. Okay. Oh, it's only a 0. That's not the worst. 16.
Nothing really happens.
Yeah. So then I'm going to turn it into a fist. That's what I was always going for.
Yeah. We don't even get a satisfying.
I was going to bump their fists in consolidation.
Self-return. We don't even get a satisfying audience linger to see if it moved at all. There was no seemingly movement there.
We didn't even get an Avengers Easter egg where it shifts a little bit.
No, we didn't even get an Inception little slight tangle.
That's much better. Yeah, Inception spinning top.
Plaza makes another death saving throw. Unless you want to move, Arlington, I think that was most of your.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So I just ignored him. He's like, I'm still bleeding here. That's my turn.
Iggy, a lot has changed in 6 seconds, but it does look like, even though the numbers are in this side of the Fianna, the werewolves have home advantage. They know where all the good attacks are.
So once again, yeah, I feel like when it's my turn, it's like it all seems like it's fine. So don't worry. But I think I'm gonna try and do. Can I use major image? Can a major image look like a person that they know? If I know the
Yeah, it looks
person
like a
really
guy called Major Image
Mhm.
reporting for duty.
can Sergeant Image tell these fuckers what to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate.
Major Image can 100% look like a person you know.
Okay, well, I'm maybe this is my magic is gonna fail again, but I'm gonna try. What I want to do is I have the book that speaks to Abby de Vauclair, and I'm mainly
Mhm.
using the book as a prop. I want
Ooh.
to put it on the floor in front of me and make it look like what I'm imagining to us would look like a like a what's it called, like a
Hologram.
hologram.
Hologram?
But well, to them, just to look like magic, but to look like it's coming from a book, so it would make some amount of sense. And I want it to
Oh,
look like it's
cool.
Abby de Vauclair, and she is saying to them, "Stand down, trust these men." And I'm hoping the last night that I spent with Abby de Vauclair, we all spent with her in a pub, and I have a flashpoint to there. And I'm wondering if there was something that she said to me at then, or anything that I could use to like add some believability to this, so that they know it's her. I don't even know if they like
Lucy
her.
Newsom with the hardcore D&D mechanics. Look at this shit. That's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
You've trapped them.
You're
They're
stacking.
gonna be like, you can't do that actually. But
No,
No,
that's
like,
genius. So like
that's
you're
not really
like
good.
if the illusion fails, it'll look like a hologram. That's fucking so good.
You drop this book onto this. Major Image doesn't require any checks. It's like it's just happens.
Yeah.
There's no like anything. You drop this book onto the ground. You realize as you look down, you've left them on red for a little bit. Like, hope I get back to that.
I
As
also
this image,
I want to keep it close enough to me that like this is still precious. I'm using it as a prop, but it's precious. If someone died for it, I want it to be like right beside me. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Abby de Vauclair's visage appears. I want you to roll a d20 flat. Let me know the number.
Okay. Oh, it's a 5.
That's
Didn't
okay.
work. It didn't work,
You
did it?
you
It
you
gets
do
determined their hair
cast a
colours.
spell, but just like Wes was alluding to, it's not as photorealistic as Major Image should be. Like Major Image, you can make like a dragon appear basically, and it's like that looks like a fucking dragon. This looks a bit janky, but
Okay.
because you narratively are pulling this out of a hologram book, it really works. It's
That was
like
so
almost better. She's a little bit grayscale. She's a little bit kind of VHS on the sides. And she says exactly what she said. Believe these men, stand down. And there is something that you know that a lot of the Fianna might be willing to listen to. And that is if one of them falls, often you give them a burial rite. Huck, you know this. Arlington, you know this. You actually had a Fianna funeral way back in episode 1 or 2.
One, yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah, we had a funeral. I remember that.
And there is a song that they sing. And she starts singing the song for them, and it seems to just subdue the room. That song goes something like this. And you hear in the room Abby de Vauclair's voice come out. And she's historically not a great singer, so that explains the...
Such a good
And
narrative
does she love
escape
covers
route.
as well?
Yeah, she does covers as well. And she says, through half spoken, half singing, I am living to nourish you, cherish you. I am pulsing the blood in your veins. Feel the magic and power surrender to Ishka Baha. And they all turn because they know that this is a funeral song that means to them when one of them dies, you live on through the blood that pumps through your veins and through the spirit you bring and a peace. No one's ever truly dead if you remember who they are. And that's the idea of I'm living to nourish you and cherish you. And my life now takes on more meaning to keep your memory alive. And this stops the room. Paz is going to make a death saving throw.
Huck has a single.
And then an additional Fianna man starts running in with starts,
The end of
yeah.
Yeah, as Flatley crosses the screen,
Yeah.
dabbing. And
Oh no, we're not ready for Flatley. We just had Guinness introduced. We're not ready for Flatley.
We are going to take our break there. But Paul, you were about to tell me something important, I think.
Can I give Iggy my inspiration, because that was a really good mechanic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
Coming after the break, Iggy, you have DM inspiration to use
Nice.
as you will, which is basically an advantage on a roll. We will be back in about 15 minutes. Before we go, there's a couple of things I want to tell you about the show. We pretty much since episode, from episode go, Dakota Irish have been a partner of this show. And we are incredibly appreciative of their belief in us and their support. And the way the deal works is that we essentially said, look, we're a tiny part-time show. We don't want anything. If you can give our audience a benefit on our behalf, that is good for us. That benefit is 10% off their site, pretty much. There's some exclusives that you can't use it on, but basically a lot of the stuff you get 10% off on your first order. And if you go to Dakota Irish, you check out their wares, fill up a cart, and enter the code HUCKSPUNKS before you check out. That's a sweet 10% off. A lot of people have come to us in our Discord to share their Dakota Irish purchases, which is really nice because we do the same. And I have plenty of dice here, the Dakota Irish. I love using them. They are just beautiful. And if you're dice hoarders like us, you really like them. But they don't just do dice, they do dice trays and all that kind of stuff. And also, other viewers of the show over the last close to 50 episodes have wanted to somewhat financially say, like, hey, we like what you're doing. We want to throw you a little bit for your Ko-fi. So we have a Ko-fi account, and it's kofi.com/homebrewquest, I believe. But again, we just do this because we like hanging out with you in chat and you watching and the community that we built around the show. So we take anything that's given to us there and we give it to an organization called MASI, who are the Movement of Asylum Seekers in Ireland, trying to end this, frankly, archaic for-profit system that we use here when refugees come to our country. The land that is supposedly 100,000 welcomes, and we are dog shit at it. So MASI are trying to end direct provision. So we give it straight to them. If you are enjoying the show and you can, please help them by supporting us in that way. You can also just go straight to them. You can cut out the middleman. We don't mind it. Honestly, it goes to a good cause. It doesn't have to come through us. But if you want to support us, Homebrew Quest is where you can find us pretty much across all social channels. And we have a Discord, which is on our Twitter account. So hopefully if you're watching, we'll see you there. If you come from episode 49, just let us know. That's kind of all we need. Paul, you're controlling the outro, so I'll let you, not the outro, but you're controlling the break, so I'll let you kind of close us out if you want. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, you're going to hear music now. Bye.
See you in 15 minutes. I realized that sounded like we're closing the show, but we'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back in 15 minutes. Bye.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Homebrew. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, don't go back to the start. What are you doing, you madman?
Get out of here.
Just go to the beginning. It'll be up. It goes up straight away. Our VODs don't go into a sneaky hidey hole between live streams and availability. They're up immediately. I think we should just dive back in, unless anyone has any community news or otherwise.
The high noon, which I've just opened and started, is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Very mild, actually, considering the cactus fruit. Just really, really gorgeous. I definitely suggest it.
I promise to not distract any more from the narrative. We'll get right back into it. But can you imagine the poor folks who are here for the beer reviews that are just scrubbing through all the D&D shit? It's like, what is the beer like?
Timestamps below. Like they talk about this beer here.
Okay, Orchard Thieves, it's like a cider. And cider is like a beer. It's also like a fruit. Will I go on?
It's like beer from apples.
Yeah.
Beer from apples associated with the more fun words, which is scrumping. Word,
Scrumping.
Yeah.
It's a good one. There should be more words that specifically mean like stealing specific things from disgruntled farmers.
That's the only word that I know of. Yeah, it's to steal apples. But
it must have been such an epidemic that they had to come up with a word. It's like, oh, I got robbed the other day. Oh, like regular robbed? No, scrumped.
Yeah,
scrumped.
It's damn vandals stealing all my apples, my apple trees.
It's Scrump Day, ladies. Ciders.
That's where it comes from. Every Wednesday, those fuckers stole my livelihood.
Back in the banquet and welcoming hall of the Kingdom of Ossory, we see the Fianna warriors left alive, left at least sort of semi-conscious. If not fully dropped their weapons, definitely sort of weapon down. There are, I think I said 18 in total. Those who have survived the battle, we're down to about 14, only 4 people. One of them being Pazzo, but 3 others have taken sort of fatal, if not almost fatal falls. And one of the werewolves didn't make it through. But you can see King Ferodok slowly menacing to this group of Fianna warriors who are kind of huddled together and backing up towards the door. And he says to them, "Take your things, take your dead, and leave. And if you dare set foot in my kingdom again, we won't be having you for dinner. We'll be having you for dessert." Seemingly...
Like, is it more threatening? It's like a bit disrespectful. It's like, we'll have other better warriors.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll invite more polite guests around next time.
It's saying that we'll always, like, even if we had a huge battle, we always have enough room for dessert. So we can always sort you out, even if we're in our week. Or is it like, maybe we won't even finish it, because by the time we're done eating...
We're still gracious hosts, but we won't use the nice silverware.
Civilware.
The silverware. It'll be the uncivilware.
Yeah, they don't use silverware in werewolf places at all, actually.
Yeah. That's why they have silverware.
Yeah.
So they can feel fancy without being in danger of dying.
This whole fight happened in the good room.
Yeah, we really wrecked that carpet. Luckily,
there was a chandelier, so that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the werewolves transforms back into kind of humanoid form and does pad out any of the spreading flames and fire. Unless you want to stop any of them, they are scurrying at the door, metaphorically tails between their legs. Of course, they don't have tails.
Is Pazzo conscious?
You're not sure. They seem to drag him out with a streak of blood.
I want to run over to him and kind of like, I'll grab my axe out of the wall, but I don't want anyone to like. I'll do it like subtly so no one realizes that I have to go and pick it up. I want to maintain the illusion that it might come back to me.
I don't want people to think I have to use my hands for my weapons.
Yeah, like I want to have it like, everyone knows that it's psychically linked to me. But yeah, I want to run over to Pazzo and then level the axe kind of at him and just like see as he's slowly coming to. And basically, Arlington is actively trying to reenact the end of Avengers where Loki wakes up and then like Hawkeye's leveling the bow at him, whether he realizes it or not.
Yeah, you it's hard to level an axe at a constantly moving, dragged semi-corpse.
Oh, sorry,
But
they're dragging him out. I didn't realize.
Yeah, they're pulling him out of the hallway.
Sorry, I was falling. I'm just trying to.
Just please leave him here for 1 moment, please.
Okay, well, sorry, I didn't notice. I missed that. In that case, he's going to grab him by the scruff of the neck and like pull him up like face to face and like roar at him to try and wake him up just before he leaves.
Yeah, make a strength check. Are you still raging?
Yeah, this would be right after the battle. If it is, then yes.
Sure. Yeah, then I guess you got advantage.
That is good to know. Just a flat strength check, yeah.
Unless you want to use athletics.
If I can, I would like to.
Sure.
Then in that case, it is a 24.
24. You pick him up. You pick this unconscious man off the floor with such strength that you hear a sickening crack.
Oh. I mean, you
And in
disengage.
your raging form, try to shake a now definitely dead Pazzo awake.
Manipulating the dead. That's a good way. That's a good delicate kind of behavior. Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing the Batman, where is he, but to a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely good behavior for a high king.
Mhm.
You're-
Turn around, like,
you're-
think you're dead, and throw the body at them.
Do I like? Can I tell he's dead as soon as I've shaken him, or am I
Yeah,
unaware?
the neck snap is the biggest giveaway.
Okay.
You're not sure if it was the fall or your twip that killed her, but one or the other. This is
Yeah.
a memory that might
Okay. You can
stick
take.
with you.
Yeah. I'll let him go and like clap one of the Fianna on the back and be like, "You'd better get him home." Mary Jane doesn't sound too good. Not Mary Jane, the other one, the other girl.
Wednesdays. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and like pass it off that like someone else he stood on a twig and just kind of back up that I accidentally murdered him.
Yeah, even in your rage form, your shield, axe, and the voice of Aramon all go dull within your mind.
Can I drop one of my tinker boxes? The Cave and Brewing Company.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can I yell
Wait, sorry.
after
So my weapon shield and the voice of Airman all dull.
Yeah, you get the feeling that killing an unconscious man is somewhat not, high
Right.
king material.
Okay, cool.
And your connection to the gods and your, the deities themselves might have been severed by that.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I yell after them? And remember, we wanted to chat. If you if you ever do come back, we could. We're interested in a discourse.
Yeah, they just about get it as the hall doors shut behind them, and you're left with a what's almost a silence, and then the booming joy of King Fairdock, who goes, "Huck's bunks, you came to our raid. Oh, you have a friend in us. As long as this castle and this kingdom draw breath, you can rely on the werewolves of Ossory."
Fantastic news. Shall we drink to celebrate and celebrate the dead who died in battle?
Bowls of mead for everyone. Bowls of mead. And yeah, they sort of put the tables back. One of them just moves the chandelier to the side, and you can pretty much sit in this banquet hall. You do see some of the werewolves obviously being moved respectively out of the room. The one that did pass away, and obviously the head of Fox Lee.
Fredo Fox.
Fredo Fox died. Voodoo was his brother.
Yeah.
Yes. Rudo is still pretty upset. And more so that he didn't get James Vincent McMahon's autograph. You only get one chance, guys.
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah.
And
Can I,
you
Could I use my last bonus action if I still have the carpet, if it's still alive in any way, shape, or form, to try to get it to smooth out, just to help the
Yeah.
smooth it out. It might have burns, might be a bit cut in half.
A little bit bloody, but otherwise all fine.
Yeah.
I think
yeah, you smell out and you have your candles. You can keep those candles if you want. You can add 2 candles to your inventory.
only for a minute. Yeah, I'll get them to jump into my pocket.
Yeah.
When no one's
They're
looking.
inanimate afterwards.
Yeah. They'll jump into my pocket and I'll be fine. No one's looking. That's just behind my back.
Yeah, you slide them straight into your pocket.
I can't wait. I get 4 candles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we were about to have dinner, so there's your opportunity.
Yeah.
I can't hold on to these forks.
It's after any battle, there's a little bit of melancholy in the air. They're a breed of border collie, and sorry, so bad.
What percentages were your beers?
Not
high enough for that.
I can tell you that much. But you all settle around the table, and seemingly are celebrated, and news of your victory of invasion and the Fianna having to lick their wounds and retreat spreads. You know that it spreads through the village. If there was a reputation bar in this town, it's gone up in your favor. If there was a reputation bar for the Fianna, it's definitely gone down.
Paragon, sort of.
And the afternoon, morning, I can't remember what time of day it is, but hey, that's the campaign. The day is yours.
Will we say this excursion happened late at night and we're drinking and celebrating into like the very late morning?
Sure.
Compromise.
The more you want to tick that calendar forward, the better.
Yeah. I was gonna say, right before this fight, I remembered what it was that you have to say in order for Arlington to go to the realm of the gods. That would have been very useful if he hadn't just killed someone in cold blood. But Huck doesn't know that.
I'm very glad you didn't just say it in the middle of the fight. Just zipped out of there.
That said, I do technically, quote unquote, know what it is, but Ben said that I knew it, and then immediately a fight started, and we've never discussed it since. So I know, but I don't. Huck
Okay,
knows.
well, I mean, if we're having a bit of an L session, like we could approach it there. I mean, I'm Arlington is spending I guess celebrations is the wrong word, but I want to spend my time, complimenting the Ossory warriors on like how they fought in battle and like reminiscing and telling them stories of my own fights when I saw my own friends fall. I'm basically trying to make it be like, this is, when people have like a wake and they celebrate the person's life, that kind of shit. I'm trying to like cement a bond with them over warrior prowess or whatever. Basically, I want these boys to be in my corner when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll. You get the feeling that they are very happy that, like, battles, especially in D&D, are a numbers game, and they had 4 extra people here today, which sort of even, without you guys soaking up those, what it was essentially 6 of the 18, a third of the Fianna who came to attack today were occupied with you, and that does not go unnoticed and unappreciated. They are very much sliding you bowls of drink whenever you want to lap out of, providing straws.
100%. Like he's not putting it up on the table. He's on all fours. Yeah, lapping it up with his weirdly rough tongue.
I'm sick of glasses. This is the best. Why don't we drink out of bowls all the time?
I think the bowls are slid over and everyone else puts them up on the table or holds them up in Arlington and just like assumes you can't pick it up. That's rude.
Yeah.
I carried this little tiny bowl from episode 1, so I feel like maybe, and I thought maybe it was Dagda's cauldron. So I think I've got that bowl out, and I'm like, guys, I brought my own. Like, and I'm gonna drink out of that little bowl. Try and finally use it.
Iggy uses her own bowl and it's like COVID,
Exactly. Yeah. It's actually probably not polite to host, but yeah. I was wondering if I could look and I can't remember. I think in the last episode, the last time I had this book, I still had my mother looking through my through my every move, like we all have, but inside my brain. And so I didn't want to.
Thought of that actually. Yeah, it's an overbearing mother.
Yeah. So also, Iggy's. I feel like being like, I'm gonna like swear, and I'm gonna smoke, and I'm gonna do whatever you don't want your parents to see you do.
What's Iggy's first swear out of her?
That's an excellent question.
What swears over there? Yeah, I guess like.
Has Iggy sworn at anyone this entire campaign? I don't. Yeah.
I don't know what is. Maybe I'm just drinking extra out of these bowls to be even more. I mean, to be fair, I didn't know my mum was spying on me, so I can't really pretend like she's never done this her whole life until now. But no, I wanted to look inside the book and ask Abby and who said Gav, Rian, and just find out what they're doing, what their how their bit is going, and now know that she can't see what we find out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last time you looked at this was a week ago. So we did a week-long montage, essentially.
Oh yeah. Did we find out where they were?
Well, over the course of the week, while you were somewhat preparing for the ritual and a little bit distracted, and then in a coma or kind of in a static state or unstable state, we are technically day 8 is when you go to Anagla. So we're probably day 7 or 6. Because it's a 2-day journey, so we're day 6 into that week. So it was around day 5 that you did the ritual, and then you spent basically 48 hours subdued. And over the course of that week, you have been receiving constant communication from Lan Falon and from Rian. And in this back and forth, you've learned a good deal about the outside world, how their efforts have gone. They have narrowed in on the on 3 of the 4 treasures of the Tuatha De Danann. So their main mission was to your basic goal was to find where a ritual, if there is a ritual, will be taking place. And you now have a map that pretty accurately pinpoints where that is. And their one was to try track down these 4 treasures of the Tuatha De Danann, which could be, according to the history of Hibernia and the first Fey invasion, these were the sort of weapons and items given by the Tuatha De Danann, the gods of this world, to the first kind of pre-Fianna warriors. It was only after this fight that they kind of established themselves as the Fianna, but these were given to them as a way to fight back the Fae. And Rua has bet them to collecting the 4th. You kind of already know this. You piece it together. She seems to have gotten Dagda's cauldron, and she's in possession of that now. But Cleve Sullus, the Sword of Light, that's the weapon that Lan Falon wields. Okay. So a little bit like Gandalf always having the ring, but having to go off and research and be like, oh, fuck, I think it's that ring. He's like, oh, shit, it's my sword. And he had suspicions, but his research in the past while has confirmed this. Leah Fall, the Stone of Destiny and the Proclaimer of the High Kings, sits at the seemingly same point as where Rua's ritual will take place. Arlington, you've been here once before. This is when you stopped being Grud and started being Arlington, and where Tig found you. But you know it's kind of useless because it, as a item, its powers have been transferred into you, Arlington. So now it's just a stone. It's basically just a rock because a High King has been chosen, and you've learned from this book. That's the difficulty. Rua did not want a High King on Hibernia, because that is sort of pretty important. We don't know exactly why. I can tell you as a DM, there are NPCs in the world around you who do have that information, but for the sake of not just spewing a load of exposition at you. And Lou's spear, which is the final one, was harder to track, but they have learned some identifying factors. They haven't exactly found it yet, but they do know from following it around, it can shapeshift into an item more suitable to its user. And the last records of it was saying that it was lost in a shipwreck east of Costa, which is the very east side of things, in the form of a fishing rod. That's the last time it's been seen.
Sorry, it was last seen where?
On the east coast of Costa.
Are we going to have to try to find Orla's character? Who I can't, I've just...
Oh, yeah, looks like as far over this way as you can go. That's going to be like so much.
I have just forgotten what the character is called.
Quail.
Quail. Yeah. It's the start of my name. Yeah. Quail.
The start of my name.
Quail.
I love those.
Keelan is Quailon in Irish, so Quail is half.
Okay, I thought you meant just like the literal sound.
No.
It's practically the same name.
Yeah, Quailon. So Quailon means, I think, tall and thin or thereabouts, and quail presumably means either tall or thin.
Thin. I think it means quite thin. Although Orla has corrected me on this multiple times before, and being like, I thought you spoke Irish, and I don't. I'm learning very, very slowly. In fact, I was playing games with friends of ours at the weekend, and we conversed in Irish. It was lovely.
Oh, unreal.
Well, I mean, it's literally half of my name in Irish, and I couldn't tell you which one it is. So,
sorry. So just I have a list of these fucking things. I looked for them recently. I couldn't find them. So we've the Cleave Solace, which Lanfalon has.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Stone of High Destiny, or have I misheard that?
The Stone of Destiny, which is Leofal,
yeah,
is sort of a moot point because that is technically you in Fifth Element style.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we have the Cauldron of I missed what was the actual cauldron called again?
Dagda's Cauldron.
Dagda's Cauldron, which she has, and then there's Lou's Spear, which hasn't been found yet.
Yes.
Cool. And then am I missing anything?
No, there's only 4.
No.
Cool.
So Rian's weapon is just it's the other hero weapon that goes with the shield, right?
Well, yeah, Rian's weapon is actually just Fragorok, the Answerer, or the Retaliator, which is one of Lou's weapons from...
yeah, but so it should...
it's like a heroic weapon of legend rather than an actual...
Yeah. Actually from a different kind of era in Hibernia. So his weapon is from... later on when the Tuatha Dé Danann ascended as gods and then kind of heroes. There was kind of an age of, it's not called the Age of Heroes, it is called something specific, but what is essentially colloquially known as an Age of Heroes. And Lugh was one of those heroes, and he had a spear which was given to him by the gods, but he also had his own weapons like his shield and his sword.
Cool. Yeah.
So like a decade from now, myself and Rian will meet up, and then his sword will fit into my shield, and we'll realize we were brothers all along. And stage play and blah blah blah.
But then you realize
that as having a heart shape blade didn't have a heart, and your shield
whole time. So the shield was like a very specific half shape, and the sword was also a very specific half shape. And we were traveling together and didn't realize.
Yeah, that's an odd
shape.
The
funny thing is that Rian is also a kid from a single parent, a mom. And you realize that you're twins. that if only Tig and Rian's mom could be somehow trapped together, maybe you could spend.
Big deal. You think you're so special? My dad didn't know my mom either. Everyone's got half a medallion. I grew up with one too. This guy.
Does that mean that Rian is the Danny DeVito?
Yes.
I'm the Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you as a Schwarzenegger, that's not so much, but I think Rian might have a problem with being Danny DeVito.
I don't.
Maybe not.
Yeah, canonically not true. Rian has very loving parents, but for the sake of comedy,
Rian's not a dad.
No. Well, he might be. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
He very much might be. We've gotten very sidetracked.
He's a Casanova. You can't have that mustache and not have a lot of children.
It's very fair.
Lying around the side.
Fact in this world and every world.
Yeah.
You can also, this is the information you basically gathered over the course of the week, but I realized that is not limited, but like somewhat not giving you the agency to ask any questions. So if you have any questions for Rian, Abby, Captain Fresh Prince of Kildare, Lanfalon, you can ask them. But as a group, it's not like everyone gets a question. It's just like you can kind of discuss and if there's anything you kind of go, okay, well, maybe this, and this. They might have come across it. It will be a history, investigation, religion, based on the question, a roll, but you might find information out.
There wasn't, I mean, the guys might, and we can talk about it and do it afterwards, but there was actually, I really just was wondering what they were up to and wanted to confirm that where are we going to meet at the ritual place? Or are we going there? Or...
Yeah, can we just get like a general update on what they've been up to and like how we can like, what we've both accomplished separately and then, maybe kind of figure out a place to meet in the middle?
Well, hopefully they'll come and join us because we basically set a base up right beside.
Well, even if we know, like if we're either sides of Hibernia doing different shit, it's like, cool, well, now that you've done that, we can do this, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Randy has a question.
Yeah, they, go ahead.
Who are these people and what does that book do?
We don't tell around here. We tell him that the book isn't talking to him.
Yeah,
it's a burn book.
We've definitely been like, especially since Randy is a dwarf, we've like myself and Iggy specifically have definitely been like literally talking over his head. It's like, and of course Rian's doing this, blah blah blah. He's like, who's Abby? I'm so angry.
What is this? Who was that weird hologram person that sung some weird song? Like, so many
Yeah,
questions.
that wasn't real, but also that is real, but also wasn't real. Does that help?
Based on reality, based on true events, but manipulated to be more interesting.
Let me tell you, Rian, there's this lady on the other side of this book, Sour Suze. You'd love her.
Are you talking to Rian or are you talking to Randir?
Yeah, Randir, Huck just called you Rian.
Yeah.
Huck just called you Rian.
Yeah, let me just say that me and Huck's relationship, Randir's and Huck's relationship is quite strained at this point since he counterspelled me twice and then tried to kill me with a carpet.
Also, that's like the adventuring party. That's the adventuring party version of calling the teacher mum. Like, oh, whatever you say, Reed.
The other question that I would throw in is if Abby de Vauclair specifically has any idea of anything that we can say to rein in Fianna or potentially get the Fianna to help us, because that's
how to prevent us being attacked by further Fiannian soldiers.
Yeah,
or
and
send
tell her what happened as well, like so that if she can spread the word. Or
they didn't seem like they were too big a fan of her, if I remember.
No,
they're pretending to be Fianna.
Yeah, they all seem to be ruled by their own party. So it might be that we need to get the champions of the hunt to do we need to be getting information to them to get them to help in the short period?
Do we need to get the individual FBI divisions in different states to share information, or we're never going to catch Bundy?
Yeah. It's a jurisdictional nightmare. Because we just tax the people who had the jurisdiction here.
Cast dissolve red tape.
We should cast red tape, actually. That'll get the way.
On Ruin.
Banish jurisdiction.
Bureaucracy. It's gone mad.
Hey.
Okay, so if I got this right. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Just also, I guess it's like, is there something that they want that we could be doing right now? Because as far as our next step, we were doing those things before, preparing, but like we get that fish, but they're over close to it. But is there something there? All the questions.
Yeah. Let's do some classic RP. We did some combat. Let's do some roleplay. So as you all kind of huddle around this book, as if you're all helping Iggy text, I suppose. That's it. Randir, sorry, Huckspunks, do you fill Randir in basically on?
It's
not going to say.
I was going to say, if you don't, if you don't,
that stuff comes up. I think we explain what things are. We're sort of like an index as things come up. It's like
Rian's a very small, sexually charged mustache man.
Like,
oh, Randir, let me tell you about all our mates who live inside this book at the moment.
Yeah, just on the way that Ben was describing it, I didn't want to be the the clueless dad just trying to be this like, what does that emoji do?
Is this Pokemon's?
We get off your Nintendos.
Randy is slowly realizing that like Rian is not a person they know. He's a character in a book they have, but they've been talking about him like he's a real person.
Wow, they really like that storybook.
What age is Randir? I think I've asked this before. Like in terms of, you don't have to be specific. Like if you said 212, I honestly wouldn't know what age that was.
Yes, what average age of dwarves is like 200 or 300.
Like is he? Yeah, like is he young? Middle aged? Is he?
I think I said that he was like about 118.
Yeah, didn't you spend
he's a teenager.
Yeah, you spent a huge amount of time working in that beer place. Like when it turned out, it was like, oh yeah, he's been working there for like 100 years.
Yeah, like
or like
50 years or something. Because I spent 50 years is when they're deemed adults in dwarven society. So I've been working for the beer company for probably about 50. Well, but I also work dwarven places.
Mm-hmm.
Young, dumb, and full of runes.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, I guess my question isn't specifics, but like age vibe. Does he come across as like 30-year-old who's just finding his feet, a 40-year-old who's like pure dad energy? Like, what
does he have? Is Randir on TikTok? Is the question.
Yeah, he's on TikTok, but he's on the 30-year-old section. But he's on the
TikTok, not where you get your pickaxe and TikTok the rocks.
Your pickaxe.
To sell his beer to any audience he can. He's definitely on TikTok.
Yeah,
I think he can.
I would say that
TikTok.
I would say that the kind of like, I guess, vibe he gives off is kind of early 30s kind of vibe, in the sense that he knows a lot more. He knows a lot more stuff, but he's also like, because he isn't well traveled, he just makes a lot of stuff up.
He's a boomer, but he's active on Reddit.
Yeah, but I'm also an ally. I'm an ally, guys.
When he dabs, you're not sure if it's ironic or not. Yeah, I got it. Okay, that gives me a good picture around here, because I know what the rest of these chuckle fucks are basically their jam. So you start writing in this book, and what's the first thing you ask? I'll defer to Iggy. Iggy, you haven't been here for 2 weeks, so you guys take a back seat. She's
Lucy's, it was Lucy's question. Iggy's question.
Well, the first question. Oh, is this? Have we already established? Have they already established the cauldron thing?
Yes, everything I've said has happened.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think we're all going to die?
Brander gets noticeably nervous about that question.
Well, I know.
You get
Don't worry, I'll
I
pass the book around so more strategic answers can be had.
Well, that's a valid question. I also wouldn't mind knowing the answer to that one.
Oh, wait, and I grab it like, and write like, I mean, like in the next month, like not like in general, you know.
It's not an existential thing. It's a practical question.
Yeah. That you see those kind of 3 loading dots, and when you add that next bit, they stop again, and then they come back and goes, "Well, I should hope not. We've been planning very much against this event."
Yeah.
Okay. Can I just say what can I do to help? What can I do right now?
You see next steps for plan of action: establish a base of operations. My suggestion is where you are. It's close to the ritual spot. Ask the where. I don't know how much you've told them. How much have you? Like full transparent? Yeah. Asking Paradox.
I also want to have mentioned that I made the little hologram of her as well, because I feel like I want to be on. I don't want to, in case you get in trouble for doing something like that. I want to have told her all that.
Yes, impersonating an office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different Fianna come in, knocking down the doors like identity theft police.
Yeah, we're the real scared.
You get a response, which is, "I will tell her. I'm sure it's fine." You get the feeling that sometimes, like anyone who's sort of very blankly to the point, that's probably Lanfalon writing to you. He writes in very awkward all caps.
So
sign everything off with a pair of deer antler emojis.
Send us a estimated sketch of the unregistered teleportation circle in the Kingdom of Ossory. We will make our way to you post haste.
Oh fuck! I forgot Tig's with us.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Okay, well, I want to do that. And I don't know if the other guys want to ask anything else.
Yeah, we're not near the teleportation circle, or does he mean the one in Ossory?
He means the one in Ossory.
He means the one in Ossory that we tried to get to. Yeah. So they can come to you. They're in Dune Moor at the moment. They're in a kind of fortress city. So they're not too far away.
Randir asks, "What is TikTok?"
It's a whole other.
You keep hearing it. You have some kind of.
It's sort of like, do you know the sending spell? But imagine everyone is taking the same sending spell and just trying to lip sync up to it. That's basically it.
In response, Lanfalon asks, "While we're on it, what is crypto?"
I have a question, which is, I did have a question. What did I say I wanted to say? I immediately forgotten. Yes. Is there any great?
I imagine all of that was in character, by the way.
Yeah, I'm writing all of that down. That's all.
Yeah.
Do anyone want to play any games? No.
Yeah. You get a free animate object, so the pen writes while you think. It's like, take this down.
Yeah.
God.
While I'm distracted, it starts drawing the lines for like a game of X's and O's, but
It's on autopilot.
um,
Would you like to play again?
it was no. How should we get the Fianna on board? You know, there's all the other champions of the hunt. Is there a good way? Because we're running out of time. To send a messenger that, you know, a code word or something where we can get them to listen to our cause, or is that something you can do?
Yeah, there's a little delay, and you get the feeling, you've seen this a few times before, that the book is being handed over. And you hear, my reputation has been torn to shatters through a, propaganda campaign in Drift. Trust in the Fianna is down there, and trust in me and other Fianna has never been lower. However, if we can convince and they underline the champion of the hunt in Bahaglen, they have means to contact all other Fianna head dunes and forts and bands and groups. And there's a little bit of delay, and it's important we convince them that there is a potential Fey invasion. Huck, your appearance, Arlington, his mannerisms, Iggy's connection to Rua, all of this will go against you. Try not to cause any trouble, but if we can get to the champion of the hunt and convince them, that is the key. But I'm scared we don't have the time. Huck, this is your champion of the hunt in Bahaglen. Right. And because of that, I am happy to pass it over to you for a name. I will offer you up, just so you know, Locknut.
Okay. Well, I actually have such a plethora of beers in me.
If you're stuck for names, I mean, I know you've got loads of good ones, Keelan. Sierra Nevada. Pretty good name.
I actually don't mind it. There's a name I never thought I would use, which is kind of why I want to use it. But it is Preposterous. So feel free to say no.
Preposterous is a good name.
No. It's Minky Boodle.
Oh no, that's good. Minky Boodle is very good.
These names, we end up saying them unironically, and it just
yeah. Hang on, we've been running this campaign for nearly 2 years now, and the whole premise of it is naming people after beers, and we've never had Minky Boodle before.
I've had the drink. I've just never had the opportunity.
It never sounds like beer.
It sounds more like a person than a beer.
Yeah.
I always thought of it as, I genuinely, until I looked at the can right there to use it as a name, thought it was Minky Doodle.
Minky Boodle is incredible. That's very much got my vote for the champion of the hunt, Minky Boodle.
For champion of the hunt. No, I vote for something more glorious.
I gotta say that he's got to do something really epic to be like a champion of the hunt with that.
I'll give you.
Well, one, we don't know their gender, and two, it's definitely Minky Boodle. Yeah. It's the B sharps of names. It just it's funny the first time you say it. And slowly,
it's either Minky Boodle or Boodle of Minky, which I'll also accept.
Minky Boodle brings up so much joy. They're obviously a gnome. Obviously, they're a gnome.
100%. We haven't met any. Have we met any gnomes?
If it helps at all, the brewing company is Thin Man Brewery, so it could be a thin gnome.
Thin gnome? Yeah.
I'm very up for the first gnome of the campaign being unbelievably important to the whole ethos of the world.
Yeah.
Yes, Minky Boodle, a thin male gnome, is the champion of the hunt for the Bahaglen, of which is the kind of head champion of the hunt for all. Minky Boodle has taken down so many creatures, monsters, is unbelievably kind to plants and animals, has both the viciousness of a, principal of a school when needs be, but also the kindness of a principal of a school when needs be. That's his vibe. And
Just a
I
different
love
school.
yeah. Minky Boodle is the champion hunt. And if you can convince Minky Boodle that there is a Fey invasion of which you have never seen before, as in the entire realm, and the one purpose the Fianna stand for, like, you understand that Rua has done a sort of subterfuge campaign to, on the one hand, start sowing discontent within the Fianna itself. Taking Abby off the board was fucking very clever on her part. And the fact that they're kind of disjointed and the world is isolationist left it sort of ripe for this exact thing, to sort of make people annoyed at each other, to take their eyes off what was ultimately her goal, while also her goal aligning with something that seems like it's good, connecting Hibernia throughout. And then being able to do that in such a way where there's so many local problems, like the hags you came across, the roads kind of popping up these things, that she's sort of, all spotlights are with individual local things. And you know, Huck, from as a member of the Fianna, it's really hard to convince anyone to be like, come help us on this big thing, where they're like, we got to chase down this Almirage that's just burst out of the Feywild. It's a masterstroke. Iggy, you should be proud. Your mum's a genius. It's only taken her thousands of years, so she has a plan. But if anyone
Plus, who has the time as a mother as well? It's very impressive.
Yeah.
she's a working mom.
All she had to do is
fact,
neglect her child.
all she did is not do the mothering part.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it takes for a woman to succeed.
Not my intention, obviously, but unfortunately, the intention I have to claim now. Minky Boodle of all would be able to unite the Fianna if you can convince them.
Okay.
Tough challenge. You haven't finished your Fianna trials, so you're not even.
I was actually just going to say, can I go back and be like, I've finished my Fianna trials now, because I've definitely done the things.
Wait,
I have to do like 10 things.
Is Huck driving us around on a learner's permit? Is that what's happening?
Quiet.
To face the Elite Four and ultimately the champion, you need to collect 7 badges across the round.
Yeah.
I turned in 1 or 2 to Abby de Vauclair, I think, when I arrived there.
I'll tell you what, in our Discord, in our private one, which is basically the same as our public one, we just have different channels, we will chat about I think there's 9 or 10 things you need to do. And we'll go back through the last basically 50 episodes to figure out, have you done them?
Yeah. That's a good way.
I think you're probably right. Like, you
I think
might
I'd be close, because I was going to say, if we're still in the montage mode, although I went with Lucy or with Iggy, so I'm definitely part of that journey. If at some point in time I can go back, I might get an audience. You see, if you level up as a Fianna, you might automatically get an audience with the champion.
Minky would be the one to like do the ceremony, and
so I mean, after that, all I have to do is mention that I'm the prince of the Fae and try to convince them.
Make a quick I don't know, like a wisdom check, insight check, I suppose. Insight check.
Yeah, it's all bad when it comes to me being wise in any way, shape, or form.
I was going to say, it's probably not a good idea.
Like, yeah, Huck is very convincing but clueless.
Yeah. Wisdom, you say? Then that's straight up 6.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say whether you being Prince Huck is a good or bad thing.
I know. Look, you know what? I'm using my inspiration to get advantage.
Nice, yeah.
Man, before this campaign started, Ben told us it was going to be about like roaming the wilds of a fictional Ireland, and none of us thought Ranger with a high wisdom stat. Why not? We've all got dog shit wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 this time. If that's
15. You shouldn't have overheard this, but when you were initially in Baja Glen and in your playful and curious lifestyle, you overheard while trying to fetch one of your jacks that fell through a roof that you were playing on down into a meeting room.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. That Minky Boodle and some of the champions and what do have connections with other members of people in different realms. Like the idea of the realms being there and the material one being the most like quote unquote civilized, that's nonsense. Like that's like there's structures and infrastructure in all the various planes of Hibernia. And what was definitely a conversation you shouldn't have overheard and weren't really paying attention to, something twigs that like some Fae might be in on this, the idea of keeping the realms separated.
Right.
And the only reason it stuck out to you and you said, I'm never going to remember that because that was about my dad and I hate him, was because it might have been your dad. It might have been King Puck.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Well, that's even more reason to go and admit that I'm the prince. Okay. Well, so if
undercover boss the whole time, huh?
Yeah. If time permits, my plan is to go there, see if I have completed it, and if not, blag the last ones that I haven't. Get Lord and convince them.
A couple of weeks. You definitely have at least a week before the world ends.
Yeah. I know that's what I'm concerned of. But I don't know. I went with Iggy, and her journey could be a more adventurous one. So.
And also might tick off one of your badges. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. So,
demons are a big one. So.
Yeah, that definitely happens.
Tying knots, starting fires, murdering demons. Those are the three main ones.
The family business. So that's a good Fianna plan. I think the other question you had was, what can we do? So what we've, to summarize and to kind of basically close out the show, and not a dramatic sense, but in a way that gets everyone, new watchers and players alike, up to speed with what's going on. Lanfalon and Rian are going to try find this fishing rod. Rian thinks he knows who has it. And Huck definitely knows who has it because I heard him earlier. And we had a big conversation about his name. That's quite likely it's Quail who has this fishing rod. And so that's the treasures sorted. They're going to make their way to the Kingdom of Ossory and set up base and plan for how to stop Rua. Just because she gave you a month, Lanfalon points out, you don't. Between you and me, it's the heart of a stone golem contains magical properties, and if we can get the heart of a stone golem and bring it to the Kingdom of Ossory, we might be safe, not only from the world.
My liege, say no more, even though I feel like you pretty much said everything you were going to say. We shall fetch the heart of whatever golem you need. Point me in the direction. My blade is yours. My halfling is yours. My bard is yours. I think he's a dwarf. I don't know many of them. Randir is yours. We're all really, you've been very helpful. We're all yours. Point me to the golem, and I'll bring you a talk.
You X your way through his dialogue just to get to the options, and you go, yeah, we'll do that for you, no problem.
Guys, we might have lost.
Oh, we gone?
I still see us, but obviously we're on a 30-second delay.
Yeah.
Are you saying they missed that sweet RP of me bumbling through some words?
Never.
I enjoyed that side quest energy, though. That was good. Before we can help you.
Yeah, I get it. We'll do the thing. It will be added to my journal.
Yes, I don't need to read it. I'll read it later on. I'll scan through it. It'll be fine.
Add the weight.
Internet exists. I'll ask what I need to do here.
Stone Golem's heart, 400 meters that way. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Follow
it's on my mini map, right? Yeah.
I think we're good. I can see us.
I think we're good. I don't think
looking towards. Yeah, we're in one of those now. Spaceballs. Spaceballs, the movie.
Yeah.
Skip to the moment where it's like, are we there? Or are we not there?
I have the stream live to the left, and I have the sound off. So I just saw myself and Ben in the stream going. I'm like,
yeah. I think we lost a little bit of minutes.
Yeah, we're fine.
People have lost hours to the show. They're never going
to say. None of this is time well spent. But thank you. We appreciate you all.
So to summarize, the whole gang is going to make it to you. A little bit inside baseball. Whether Gav comes back or not, I'm going to ask him. He's super, super busy at the moment, and he's doing really well in real life. So we might join us for a few, we might not. Ditto with anyone else we've mentioned. Otherwise, in a classic D&D style, I will play them as the DM as they come back. Kingdom of Ossory, more than welcome to help. They just need a little help with this, protecting the kingdom first. And we obviously need to go to an Igla, because canonically we do. So... Actually, that point, and then obviously
we could have just come back, right? Run.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't actually go into the 10, so you don't have to do that part of your what your aim is, Iggy, yet. And if you can make it to Umbaha Glen, absolutely fantastic. Was there? I feel like there was one other question. How can we help set up the space? Can we get
Yeah.
the Fianna involved? Go to the back of Glen and talk to Mickey Boodle. Anything else we should know? I think they've told you everything. So in the course of this exchange, I think you're pretty well up. But also, if you think of anything in the next 2 weeks, we'll pick up one final question. Maybe that's probably the fairest way to.
That all sounds great. That was like, this little book is a juicy text message machine.
Oh, the exposition book I gave you? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we inevitably, like, we can chat in the Discord or something in the meantime. And then the next we're streaming, we'll have our question. Like, we'll ask something either way, even if it's something stupid, like, you know, how pretty is Minky Boodle? But I'm sure we'll think of something narratively that we completely missed.
I am more than happy for all the planning to be off stream for entertainment purposes. Not that it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah, historically, that's the best part of live streams.
And with that, we will end our episode here, which means next episode is episode 50. And we, in classic Homebrew style, have kind of some things planned, not a lot of things. We'll figure it out. We've got 2 weeks. We might make a celebration. We might not. We say that a lot.
In classic Homebrew style. Sort of, maybe, yeah.
It's like we should be proud of ourselves, but aside from that, let's not do too much navel gazing and backpatting. Let's just continue the fucking story. So before we go, Paul, this Thursday, what's the Hero Site topic? Do you have one?
We're actually looking back on our own channel. We're looking back from when we started and kind of reviewing all the old thumbnails and videos and things we tried and stuff like that, and just to kind of like a nice kind of like, because I think we're coming up close to, not to brag, about 250 videos.
I was waiting. It's like it's going to be nowhere near or way beyond.
That sounds like a brag, to be honest.
Yeah. Look, we're not going to navel gaze. We're at 50. They are 250. You get permission to look back.
Yeah,
250.
like, yeah, I think
you get 250 episodes.
It's not
with permission to look.
Yeah, it's not.
To be fair, Paul, the only reason you're at a much higher number is because you generate far more content than us. So that's hardly an advantage.
Yeah. You're on every week. We're only on every 2 weeks. You know.
Yeah.
We also
even
at the start we were on twice a week and it killed it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's not for any celebration or anything. It's just a kind of nice kind of look back, and we're going to look back at anger because we're going to be a lot angry at some of the things that we did, some mistakes we did, stars and stuff like that. Because doing 2 episodes a week while doing full-time jobs isn't.
It sounds like if you're watching this and want to get into streaming and all that kind of stuff, this sounds like a brilliant Heroes Out to. It's a bit of inside baseball there.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're only going to listen to them now, or if you've never watched Heroes Out, this might be the time to get a sense.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about the thumbnail stuff and like our setups and everything, and then probably transferring to, because we transferred to doing the live show.
Yeah, because you were pre-recorded pre-pandemic.
Yeah, we were all pre-recorded doing editing and stuff like that. Which is surprising thing now is because we've actually probably messed the same amount of live recordings as we had pre-recordings now, which is an interesting kind of one. Because we've been.
That's super impressive. Yeah. That's really cool.
But yeah, we'll be talking about some of the behind the.
Cool.
Until Thursday, we'll see anyone who wants to join us Thursday. We're usually in the chat as well, because here it's honestly so educational. I fucking love it. I've actually improved as a DM watching it because hearing you talk about films helps me make more narrative stuff. You can thank today's combat on Heroes Out. But we'll be back in 2 weeks for the 50th episode. We'll have some things up our sleeves, even if it's just hot air. But until then, look after yourselves. Be sound. Good night, and joy be with you all.
Bye.
Right.